Hello, and welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society. As we finish our final playthrough of our final episode of our first playthrough of Our Traveling Home, a GMless Ghibli-inspired game. Let's go on over and say your name and who you're playing. Let's start with Alex.
Oh, hey, I'm Alex. I'm playing Mez, who is the demon. Their pronouns? I don't know. I feel like they're becoming a little bit more relevant. Relevant. There it is. Relevant as more and more of her becomes less demony. Okay. Orlest. Zach.
Hello, I'm Zach, and I will be playing Orlest. Orlest is the child and uses the he and the they pronouns, and will be, probably doing adorable and or sad things. Who's to say? Maria, you go next.
Gee, thanks. Hi, it's me. Hello, here I am behind these. I'm Maria. I use the they and she pronouns. I play the wizard who uses the they and them pronouns or just doesn't. And also is a wizard and made a house that's very cool and is also, if you saw last time, a sad wizard. A sad wizard who is sad. But we'll have a happy ending because the game says so.
Legally, we must.
Legally, we must have a happy ending.
Nominally happy ending, but everyone makes it too.
You're contractually obligated.
Correct.
Yes.
The game lets you play a little faster than this, but not that much.
That's Ty.
I am Ty. I am playing Enoch, uses he/him pronouns, and is cursed. Last time, I'm going to do a quick recap. There was a side scene with the wizard and Orlest. There was the wizard had a real bad, terrible dream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to peek into the wizard's bedroom.
Yes, correct.
Which was good and full of cheery, wholesome, just really good.
So many sets of handcuffs.
It was the opposite of that, though. It was like so not. It was very stale and sad and very sad. It's a sad place.
So we can get started. The first game we have to play legally is Visitor from the Past. You receive an unexpected visit from someone important from your past, someone you almost never expected to see again. Who is it? Where do they find you? And what happens? This game is for the demon and two other players. The demon will play the visitor. Of the remaining two players, one will be the host and one will be the bystander.
I'm the demon.
Yes, so you are the visitor. Thanks. I think we had discussed this last time. The plan was that Enoch was going to be the host. Is that still?
Enoch has got to have a visitor!
Yeah, in exchange for not being the target of the...
Yeah, I don't know. After the last
for
one,
not being a dream.
I'm more worried than I was before you did the dream sequence, but okay.
Dream sequence.
And then I think it makes sense that the wizard would be the bystander.
Excellent.
I'm
on alarming dream. I don't want to do that again. No.
Yeah.
Not again.
So, host, who is the visitor and why are you surprised to see them? I think it is my youngest sister. That is someone that Enoch has mentioned previously in scenes. And why are you surprised to see them? I don't think Enoch ever thought that his sister would be able to find this house specifically, or where he went, period. And then the visitor has questions too. Do you have your sheet pulled up, Alex, or I can read it for you?
Yeah, I was getting reacquainted with things.
35. Slide 35.
Slide 35. An unexpected... Nope. Visitor from the past. Okay. Who is the visitor? Why are you surprised to see him?
The visitor, I said, was my youngest sister, and I was surprised to see them because I didn't think there would be any way that my sister could find this house specifically, or where I went in general.
Gotcha. And how old is younger sister?
I'm gonna say 16.
Okay.
It's my youngest sister. I have two.
Got it. Where does the reunion take place? At the wizard's house?
Sure.
It doesn't have to. It can be wherever.
It doesn't have
Oh.
to. I would read all the questions first and then kind of work your way through answering because it gives like suggestions and stuff.
Gotcha. Where does the reunion take place? How do you approach the host? Do you barge in uninvited, approach the home tentatively, or does the scene happen somewhere outside the home? Bystander, you are otherwise occupied when this encounter begins.
I'll answer those questions. You answer yours, visitor.
Those aren't on mine.
I understand. I do not
What,
have
the
my
questions
glasses.
for the bystander?
What do you say to the reunion? What do you say to the host that makes them feel guilty for leaving? Is that the questions in the reunion?
No,
the
so the-
visitor questions.
Yeah, the questions you read, answer that chunk now because that chunk is
Yeah,
you
where the
read that
reunion
chunk.
takes
Oh,
place.
I
you
understand.
You answer those questions, yeah.
Yep.
And then
Nope.
apparently there's some discrepancies after that. Do you not have a thing for bystanders, Sai?
Mine is later. The bystander hopped in later in mine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Got
yeah. This one also. Never mind. Alex, you answer your things. I'll address this and see if it lines up with what you have later.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I will say, for the sake of maybe Enoch is getting more provisions and is out about in town, and their sister spots them.
Okay.
So I will say it takes place in the market. And how do you approach the host? I will say that she will run up and give you a big hug, and that's kind of how she announces her presence.
While you think about that, just to let you know what we have here, that's probably
Okay.
might be where you are. It says, bystander, you are otherwise occupied when the encounter begins, but will return at an inopportune moment partway through to observe the encounter without interrupting it. What are you doing when the visitor arrives? That's what it asks here. Yours
Interesting.
says that it's later.
Give me a second.
Because I'd rather go off by what you have, because you have
Yeah.
the book.
I think yours can be answered without it really. I don't know when your next thing pops up. I have when your next thing pops up, but I guess mine doesn't have that at all. So that's fine. You can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my
As
next.
far as I can tell, you can
Mine
edit that.
comes from. There's like a thing called the misunderstanding.
I have that later on. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything before that. But yeah, you can do your. Yeah.
Okay.
Do yours.
I'm otherwise occupied when this encounter begins. Return at an inopportune moment partway through. I think the wizard probably went with Enoch, but in disguise.
Because you're being haunted.
Because I'm being haunted. Yeah. So in not their typical mundane disguise. I think still extravagantly dressed, but like, but different of face. Maybe, they, I think they take the visage of, oh, I know who they take on the appearance of their wizard. Nope, they wouldn't do that. That's not that would be bad. That would draw too much
They look like
attention.
Mez.
That's actually what I'm thinking. Is that they
Look like male Mez.
they took on the human version of what Mez is kind of turning into, in order to stay as inconspicuous as possible. But it's also in like the market shopping, but probably like the farther side of the market.
I like.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Enoch, if he's being hugged, I think he looks down and says, Eleanor, what are you doing here? How did you recognize me?
You would look down instinctively because the last time you saw her, she was much smaller. but now she is eye level with you. And she goes, "What do you mean, how did I recognize you? You're my brother. I would recognize you anywhere. I mean, you've got the same walk. You hold yourself the same way, and you somehow do your hair the same exact way, too."
He laughs and pulls you in tighter for a hug.
Where have you been?
I left after, this happened. I thought it would be best if I, were to fix this. I didn't, when it first happened, didn't think I could be much use around the farm, so I went to try to fix it.
But you left without saying goodbye.
I didn't want, I thought it would cause more worry if, you and Alana and our parents, saw what had happened. I didn't want to cause even more, I assumed to be even more panic.
More worry than just waking up one morning and you not being there? You were always the one that would play with me. It was you and me.
He takes pauses to kind of fully consider the events that had happened and the order in which he did them. Yeah, I'm sorry. You did deserve a goodbye in some form. I should have left a note. I guess kind of panicked and didn't think everything through very clearly. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you felt like you needed to leave.
I think that kind of counts as the reunion. I think we both
Yeah,
answered
I think
those
that's a good
questions.
reunion.
Yeah. Catching up is the next one.
Yeah. How long are you here? Can we go someplace? I feel like I don't even know who you are anymore. What are you doing? How did this happen? Where are you going? Are you with people? Have you found... I feel as though all of the questions are in my mind and there's about 7 million. I feel we should probably sit down.
Sure, we can, Enoch's in, I think we said before, Enoch has some form of, not disguise, but just has, a cloak he puts over to look less, cursed, I guess.
Less Enoch.
Yes. Yeah, less. I think there's a small cafe nearby. We could have a sit real quick if you'd like to capture up a little. And kind of guides you there.
Starting at the beginning, what happened?
My memories of the event are a little unclear. I was exploring the wilds for just a normal day on the farm, and I came across something that I can't quite recall, and the result was this. Gestures to his shade-like body.
Did it
and
hurt?
Passes his hand through the table. No, it didn't hurt. I think confusion was the prevailing emotion for the moment, and then several days afterward. Still a little bit now, but I've grown a little more comfortable with it through the help of some friends. I'm still, looking to alleviate myself of this, but I have some people that are helping me.
That's good. You have friends. What are they like?
Well, there is a boy, a child. I think that you would get along with very well. Their name is Orlest. He's very curious and excitable, and I think you two would really get along.
So they're a troublemaker.
Yes, I prefer a curious individual, but has been known to get into a scrap or two. Their pet, Stumpy, a catamander.
I don't think I know what that is.
There's a wonderful being comprised of wind named Mez, who has a very gentle and deep soul that I'm really getting to enjoy knowing.
A wind person.
Yes. A wind being. I don't know that Mez is comfortable being called a person yet.
Okay. This is turning into a lot more exciting than I thought this was going to be. Okay, so we have a child,
Yes.
a wind being.
Yes. And there is a very powerful and extravagant wizard named the Wizard. I know we don't have a lot of wizards in Dorgan. In Dorgan, where we live. We've always lived in Dorgan. But they're quite common, I guess, outside of that. And the Wizard has this house that's just amazing. It's massive and moves, and there are places for all of us inside. I think you'd really like to visit someday. I'd like to show you.
You like them?
I like all my friends.
Yeah, you like them. Cursed or not cursed, I can still see the blushes.
Yeah, I think Enoch has prominent blue blushes when he's nervous.
Gosh, it's been so long. Has so much changed?
What about you? How's everyone at home?
Fine. Not much has changed, I guess. In some way that might be disappointing to hear that things still remain the same even though you've left.
Well, no, I'm glad you all, still doing well, and that the farm hasn't collapsed under me leaving. That the workload hasn't become too much for you all.
No. I've gotten stronger from it.
I can see. Look at those guns. What the ham? We'll add a little protein to that milk. Really got to bulk you up.
Yeah, I keep eating all the cheese. They don't like it because it makes me fart, but it's still funny. There really isn't much. Older sister has a boyfriend. He's very boring.
Does he make her happy?
Yeah. He's I don't know, I keep trying to I think I keep trying to treat him like I treated you. And he's not that kind of person, so we just don't jive. But I'm not really supposed to be at the market today. I'm supposed to be working.
How long you intend to stay?
I don't know. I think I just wanted to feel, I don't know, grown up. Not necessarily. Just I wanted some time alone.
I understand that.
I'll stay as long as you stay. You have to leave first, but you have to promise to say goodbye.
Okay. I fortunately think my trip here, I tend not to linger in the market too long, so it'll have to be soon. But we'll chat for a little bit longer before I have to go.
Will there be a way does this wizard have a way that perhaps you can talk to me every once in a while?
I can ask the wizard, and perhaps I can ask the wizard if maybe you and maybe Alana can come visit someday.
That would be awesome. Go to a wizard's house.
You'd really like it, yes.
I gotta meet this wind person and this curious child.
Yes, I would love just a really long scene of you and the wind person just talking for hours, maybe. It's really acted out.
I'll do it, Ty, just to torture you.
Good.
I will.
So I think that seems to answer the last question. I think we talk for a while longer, and once it gets to be maybe another half an hour or so until Enoch thinks that like, okay, I really gotta get back to the wizard before worry happens and stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's a misunderstanding, I believe, according to my book.
Yes.
Is that accurate, wizard?
Yeah. Assuming that you answered the third question of parting ways. Did you?
Yeah, it's just that how do we say goodbye? I think we just do after.
Cool. Excellent. Great. Yes, then that is where I'm at. Right there with you.
And you did make a promise, and you had to
say goodbye. Yeah.
Yep.
You did. Yeah.
Excellent. So, at what point did you stumble across this encounter, and what did you hear? I wrote down. I noticed that you were having a discussion with someone when you decided to leave the market and go to the cafe, because I think I was making my way towards like where you were, and I'm like, I think it started as a nervous, like, I need to figure out what's going on just in case, like, he's going to be carted off again, and then realizing that you're having a conversation with somebody you know, but not wanting to leave you alone in case of something bad, but also wanting to know more about you and your family, because that's who this apparently was. How did what you hear convince you that the host was going to leave, and how did that make you feel? When you were talking, Enoch said something like that he was still looking to alleviate himself of this, and I know that he was talking about the curse, but there's a part of the wizard that's like, how much of this is alleviating yourself from just the curse, or from us, or from me? And also, it really sounds like you're trying to, like, is that why you came to me is that why we found each other in the first place? Is just so you could use me to get back to your family?
Or disagreement from the cat gallery. No, he would never.
No.
Paranoia.
Yeah, and they are both seeing how warmly you and your sister interacted. They both desperately want to give you the happiness of being with your family, and yet so desperately do not want to see you leave. Which is a strange impasse. And I think that they are not very covert in their, like, trying to eavesdrop. Maybe the only reason you didn't pick it up is because you were talking, having a conversation like a normal human being. And I don't think that your sister would notice. But, like, the wizards, they're just, like, sitting on, like, if you're sitting at, like, a cafe, they're, like, at the corner of the building, just, like, sitting there, not looking at you, but just, like, 100%, just, like, staring and looking. The last question is, when the host catches you inadvertently eavesdropping immediately after the visitor leaves, how do you react, and what do you say? I react by, like, at that moment, I was kind of, like, watching the two of you talk, as you're saying, like, your warm goodbyes and everything, and, like, they walk away, and then my, like, eyes trail back to you, and you're just looking straight at me, and I'm like, like, kind of, like, go a little bit red, and just, like, slowly turn just a little bit away from you, so I'm not looking at you anymore. And I don't really say anything unless you come closer, but I'm just, like...
I mean, like, knowing that you're right there, like, you're not gonna look, like, confused and then, like, walk over. Oh, I didn't realize you followed. You were going to the cafe too.
Well, I thought that maybe you were in in trouble, given the last time we kind of came to a larger city, but she seems very nice. Your sister?
Oh, you heard that, or?
Yes, yes. She seems nice.
Yes, I hope sometime she can visit.
Yeah. That we could make that. Yeah, if you want her to come visit, yeah, we could make that happen. It's not too hard. Probably.
I think her and Orless would really get along.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Well, I think this cafe trip is probably taking a little bit longer than we had allotted for this outing. So perhaps we should, and offers you a slightly solidified hand to get up out of your chair.
They take it with their slightly. I think they're wearing. No, they're not. They'll take it with their slightly less corporeal hands.
And he will help you up and let it linger a little bit longer as you guys exit the market and the scene.
You have to let it linger.
Your time with the visitor has clarified whether the residents of the home are now your family. Why is that? Had you realized it before now? I think Enoch had realized that before now. I think, if anything, clarified that... If anything was more clarified, it's just that he sees himself staying here more than going home, I think. Like, as his immediate future is what Enoch would. His first response is like, oh, you can visit, not like, oh, I'll be back soon. Mm-hmm. So I think that was how he realized that more. And the action I took to reassure the bystander was holding your hand a little bit and telling you I wanted my family to visit.
Yay.
Aftermath. It is a visitor thing.
And I was also going to say that maybe you felt a little bit more comforted knowing that the farm is okay.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, how does a visitor escalate danger to the family once they leave? Do they do so purposefully? No, they do not. Or does your enemy in the outside world take advantage of them? I will say the latter. The enemy in the outside world takes advantage of them. When she is leaving the market and heading back to the farm, they run into somebody that they know, or at least somebody that looks like someone they know, and they just kind of start chatting with her and asking who she was sitting with, and she just kind of tells in excitement that she was sitting with her brother and that he's been going on these amazing adventures and all these things, and just is regaling the story and just pouring out the fact that they're just so excited to have had this moment and have this connection with their brother, not knowing that who they're speaking to is not who they are perceived to be, and it is the enemy in disguise.
Oh no!
Yeah. I don't know, like, anything, like, so they know who you all are. They know that she is family to someone who is important, because she definitely spews, being 16, going, he totally has a crush on them.
I think also it solidifies, because we've been kind of in hiding since the end of, Act 1. It solidifies we're still in the area. We're still here.
Yeah.
We didn't go anywhere.
Hide in plain sight.
Yep.
Okay. Did anyone learn anything?
I did!
Cross up a mark. What did you learn?
I did. I crossed off, let fear stop you from speaking your true feelings for the chosen.
The cursed.
The you.
We're not Monster of the Week anymore.
We're not. It
I know it's
says,
a
but it
Tuesday,
says
but-
chosen.
Does it?
Does it?
Oh.
It says on this sheet, it's the curse, though.
Oh, that's why.
And what
Tyler
did you
picked
learn?
Curse.
I learned, I need to rephrase this. Well, actually, no. This is what I learned, even though, I marked that off. I learned that Enoch chose to stay with me instead of going home.
I crossed off the mark. It wasn't exact, but I crossed off the mark. Refuse and offer to rejoin the outside world. I think it was his first time he kind of realized, like, oh, I could go home, and my family would probably be more okay with it than I thought. They wouldn't freak out, like how open and caring his sister was, like without any sort of like hesitance or anything. I think that was his first realization, like, oh, I could go home. But I think what he learned is that I think that is what he learned, that it would be okay for him to go home, even if he didn't fix us, that his family would be okay with it. He also learned that he doesn't really want to as much as he thought, but I think the more prevailing is that his family's okay with it. And that's it for that one.
Amazing.
See, that wasn't so painful, Ty.
No, it could have been a lot
No.
worse. It could have been that dream.
Could have been so much worse. Yeah, it could have been a nightmare of everyone being animal people. I don't know, man.
Animal people. They turned into animal people, and you couldn't do anything to stop anything, and it was all fucked.
It was all bad.
You're
I
just
saw
being
my
nice.
Fucked.
parents and my grandmother and bad times.
Yeah, that too.
Jeez. Only
Uh,
the most loving people you want to see in a dream.
Of course, 100%.
Hey y'all, it's the calm before the storm.
It is.
Hey.
You don't talk about it, but you all feel the danger looming overhead. You don't know when the war will arrive, but you know it will happen soon. What do you do with this brief moment of calm? Who do you spend it with? What secrets do you lay bare, and which do you hold tight to? This is a game for everyone! That's the last game to be played in Act 2! Oh dear.
I'm ready.
Nice.
This is not the climax of Act 2, though.
No.
Fantastic.
Apparently that is separate from Act 2.
Yes.
This is the last game to be played.
This is the last game.
Excellent, excellent. Alright, so firstly we described how the danger has not yet arrived but is close at hand. For example, are the enemy's henchmen searching for the home nearby? Did an enemy airship pass overhead one valley over?
Well, we know why they are now headed for us in
Yep.
Yeah.
some general sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the enemy. Right?
Are you?
Are you?
I'm always. Aren't I? Isn't the.
Usually.
You have been.
Yeah.
You're not in this scene.
Yeah, not in this
Oh,
one.
okay.
You're just
In
you.
this scene, we're all
Sorry, I'm just so
ourselves.
used to having to be the
I
bad
know.
guy. I'm like,
I think we already explained, yeah, it's because of the encounter with the sister and because, like, they know we're around.
Yeah, so
And
I
there
think
have been airships passing overhead, like, that was the game before last was that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we've already answered all these.
Yeah, we get the
excellent.
montage of them all
Yeah.
like preparing to come after us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still debating whether they're going to take her hostage or not.
I would say probably not, because that's not, like, this... Ghibli is
That's
one
too
thing,
dark.
but it's not quite that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like,
That's why I was
comes
like, I think
later.
that's probably that's me fucked up. So like, that's a monster of the week.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
It's Monster of the Week, not Studio Ghibli. Yeah. Take turns selecting a prompt from the list below, or come up with one of your own if nothing appeals. Ask one player to join you. So these are one-on-one scenes. Describes what happens. Yeah. Describe what happens together, or play out a brief scene. So each player chooses once. This will be your last chance for one-on-one moments with another character before the final resolution. So if there's anyone you've wanted a scene with and have not had one, now's the time to have one. In bold letters, if the wizard and the curse share a scene, they may only address their feelings with each other obliquely.
That's so funny. Just
I
in
hate
big
it.
bold letters, it's like, look,
You cannot do this thing.
you may not commit to your love.
I feel like the wizard and the demon have not had a scene
Yeah.
in a minute.
Yeah.
Which one are you gonna choose?
Well, I can't go for a walk in the wilds.
That's very true.
This is
Fair.
You got that.
Um,
You could also come up with your own. It said too.
Yeah, it can be anything.
I mean, instead of a walk in the wilds, could it just be a walk through the garden?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Because I don't think there's really any minor tasks. They're not really interested in reading, and they don't necessarily want to play a game of the wizard because they know that they're a sore loser.
This is too good at games for the
is there-
wizard.
Is there anything that you might want to do in the gardens? Because I mean, it's not like a huge garden, but we can literally do anything. I mean, within the confines
maybe
of like where you can actually go.
Yeah, maybe in the garden, pulled Wiz in there under the guise of discussing like expanding the garden and such, but hasn't really been able to touch base with everything going on. Feels like the wizard might be avoiding them, so they're just like, I feel like we might need to talk because I'm still solid.
Yes. This. Yes. All right.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah, I think the wizard comes up to the garden like prepped for, I don't know, some sort of like mystical magical thing. Where do they find you?
Like pacing nervously in front of the greenhouse. Just like back and forth. Because they're not really used to the walking, and it's kind of interesting. And it's soothing, really, to just keep. And they're a little fascinated by it. And so they're just pacing. They kind of almost bore a little path. They've been doing it for a minute.
I think that the wizard had just started like rolling up their sleeves, and they just look at you quizzically, and they, as an aside, have stopped around the house at the very least. Have stopped like wearing the spectacles that they always wore to like kind of hide their eyes and their strangeness in their eyes. They've stopped doing that in the last couple of days, and so they roll up their sleeves and they just kind of look at you and say, did I keep you waiting? I'm sorry. We can get this over with quick. What sort of things did you want to? Do you need a bigger greenhouse? Do you want? I don't have like a lot of space, but we can add maybe a tree, small one, some bushes.
Oh, no, I wasn't pacing. Is that what that is? Pacing?
Mm-hmm.
I just found it calming. No, you didn't keep me waiting. I don't have anywhere else to go. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Before we talk about that, why don't we sit down? I feel as though we haven't spoken in a while, and the last time we spoke, it wasn't under the kindest of circumstances. We fought.
Sure, we can just talk. And the wizard will just kind of gesture to the gazebo that's out on the green of the yard.
Okay, I'll meet you there, and we'll work on it. She'll open the door, and you'll see like a little table, and there's like tea set. Like they're really trying to like make it comfortable for the Wiz, trying to take into consideration like, okay, what makes them calm and comfortable, like really trying to understand people.
Mm-hmm.
and like runs in and grabs the tray and like skedaddles towards the gazebo with a tray of tea. Probably not good tea. It's probably
hard to mess up
just
tea.
well, I don't think they need to boil it.
Well,
They're working on it. It's a work in progress.
almost iced tea. Almost.
Yeah, it's leaves and water.
Yeah, I think as by the time you get over there, I think the wizard is, I think they had gone past the little like gazebo area and it's just leaning against the railing on the edge of the garden / yard and just kind of looking out to the airships way off in the distance and the wild area underneath them and the cities kind of dotting the hillsides. But turns when they hear the like kind of gentle jingling of china.
Yep.
But they'll as you approach, they'll go over and oh, let me help you with that, and we'll help to take it from your unsure hands and put it down, and open the teapot and look inside and smile. And I think we'll just kind of like spin their finger around, and then you just see steam coming out of it. And puts the lid back on. It looks lovely.
And you just see Mez go, boil the water.
It's optional, but it does sometimes make it taste different.
I will remember that for next time.
You can also put it in a lot of ice. Some people like it that way. It's kind of the two opposite.
I'm definitely learning the differences in textures and
Let's pour some tea for
temperatures. And they'll like put it to their lips and like it's a little hot and they're like, oh, that's new.
How are you doing with this?
I think I'm okay. At first I was very angry, if that's the word for it. Mainly because I was angry at you. And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I wasn't angry. I was worried. I know what it is to be a being like me. And the more I become more solid, the less I'd understand why you wouldn't want to stay you. I don't really particularly care for the fact that I feel as though I don't have as much to offer in terms of power, protection.
I mean, you're doing a pretty good job at keeping this house together.
Well, I don't really have a choice. It's my house too. I never really had other people to care for. It was just me. And in a way that's very freeing. But now I understand how lonely it was. Because I think of waking up and not having Orlest and that stupid Catamander. Or Enoch and their very interesting cooking. And part of me wants to make sure that you get to see all of that through your own eyes. Kind of calling attention to your crazy ones. power isn't everything.
I just hope that there's enough power here. Just kind of looking, and you can see that like throughout the last bit of time, most of their fingers are like almost, they're like translucent, so that you can see that they're still there. They still have like shape and some sense of solidness to them, but they're like kind of like a smoky quartz sort of look to them. There just needs to be enough to make sure that we win.
Protecting the home. More importantly, protecting our family. And they'll kind of reach over and, with your permission, like take your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And doing so kind of lose a little less of their corporealness and gain a little bit more of their wind-likeness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just you. I think, and they'll gesture kind of around, and maybe Enoch and Orless are in the distance. I think there's enough power here. I think maybe you've carried a little too much. And if you keep carrying it the way you are, I don't know how much time you will have as you. And I would rather give up the family and this form to ensure that you remain you. Because I kind of like who you're turning into, and I hope it doesn't stop. You're a lot nicer.
Well, I can't have too much of that.
Well, I mean, neither can I. I've never had so many feelings.
Those are the hardest parts to get used to.
They are.
And I think their gaze will kind of like, since you've already established it, kind of trail off to where like Enoch and Orlest are. Kind of lingering a little bit.
If you haven't guessed, I really didn't have anything about the garden.
It wasn't a very convincing ask. You can do most anything up here yourself anyway.
That's true.
But thank you.
We believe in you. Maybe it's time that you believe in us. And she'll like tap your knee and just kind of like go to like coolly walk away, like mic drop moment, and just like fucking eat shit. Because just doesn't. Because they went to walk through the chair and is solid and just flips and just goes, all right, and goes back to the greenhouse.
Wizard laughs. They laugh.
Yep. Did I do it right? Did we do it right?
You did it. You did it. You did
We
so.
did
You
it.
did so
Did it.
good. That was
Yeah.
great. These are. I feel like these are the most like open. Like do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've literally
Here's
just
a
been
prompt.
like, she's gonna be more she and less it, and feelings. Embrace the feelings. They are nice.
Go, let's
Yeah, these are
go.
the feelings ones, so you did that for sure.
Yeah.
You did it.
We did it.
Does anyone want to go next?
You did yours. You won already.
I'm
You already
done.
won. You did it.
I can take a nap.
Spoiler, I want to have one with Enoch.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
but it doesn't have
Yay.
to be now. It can be later. I don't know what I want to do yet, but that's what I
Okay.
want to do. That's my scene.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was also mine.
Hell yes! Okay, I can. No, hang on.
Okay.
No, you take that. I have a different one that I can have with the
I had
wizard
two as
child.
well, so if you've got like a specific one, Ty, go for it.
I kind of have. Okay, I have what I
Okay.
want in mind.
Okay.
It might be decent to end on, though. is what
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
I would think.
Sounds like you had a different one, Maria, then. Ty was going to pick one between the two of you.
Yes.
And one of my options was you and I, so, like, if you've got an idea, go for it.
Okay. So
Toss it up there.
I think. All right, Orlest, let's go. Do some minor tasks that you've been putting off. What unnecessary tasks do you do to keep your hands busy? Dusting already spotless surfaces, etc. And then the other player, do you join in or simply keep them company? How do you get them to talk about what's bothering them? So, I think that this is in the kind of like library sitting room area with like the big hearth and the big chairs and all that sort of stuff. And there's books. And I think what the wizard has done has, and I think it's been most of this day, has taken off all the books off of all the shelves, categorized them, and put them back on. And then 2 minutes later, taken them all off, categorized them in a different way, and put them back on the shelves. And did that for about 30 minutes, organizing them in about 7 different ways. And has now moved on to finding the perfect spot for a long dead plant. It's been dead for a while, but they just can't, they don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's part of the family.
Yeah. So they've just been wandering around the den, just trying to find like a very good spot for this plant, and just like moving things around, kind of like how they did when they were in their bedroom. Like just kind of, coming up to like this little space and just like shifting something and then kind of shifting it back on the next pass around. And it doesn't look literally the room does not look different. Even though they've been in this room for hours and you've been hearing them do stuff for hours. Absolutely, that does not look different. But they are, I think, when you finally like introduce yourself to the scene, I think at this point, they are, I think they're on their a new way of categorizing these books, and it's by color and also size and also date of publication, but all of them all at the same time.
None of them are the primary
No.
decision maker on which one goes first. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just stacks of books over on every surface, and they're just looking at a completely spotless, empty bookshelf, just like really staring at it. And then just kind of like reach for a book and just put it like on, like the third shelf in like the right side, but not all the way to the right, and then just kind of look at it.
Like put it in its place without any of the other books and like, is this?
Yeah, is this something? Is this it?
To answer the question of, for the other player, do you join in or simply keep them company? I think Orlest tentatively wants to join in, but at first, the wizard is on a house organizing journey. So like, he knows better than to immediately just come in and be like, hey, what can I do here? Like, and just like sits on like a high stool or something and perches and watches for a bit. And then like maybe as you place that book and look at it, We see the scene of like both of them doing the same head tilt of just like, like, can I maybe just more to the left a little on that one?
The wizard doesn't look back at you, but just like moves a hand and then just pushes it just a little bit to the left and nods. And then just holds out a hand to you. Not looking at you, just holds out an open hand.
Yeah, there's, I assume like I'm at like a stool
there's
and
books
there's
everywhere.
a table here and there's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
pile of books and I like look around and I like reach over and do like and then hand you a book.
And look at it and then just kind of slide it next to a couple of them. And then continues to just hold out a hand. And while like the other one kind of just reaches for another book and like puts it, you know, in a spot.
I think Orless is doing the thing like with the sigil chalks of just like looking away and reaching over and like feeling for which book to pick and be like focusing really hard on the book that's on the shelf, like a set of books, and it's like, all right, so those all go, and then just
Trying to believe in the heart of the cards.
and just like quickly puts it in front of his face and just like, yeah, okay, and then like hands it over to the Wiz and
more
looks
times
for
than
approval.
not. I mean, the Wiz doesn't really like look at the books anymore. More times than not, it is going in the places that you like visualize them going into.
It's like occasionally you do
adorable.
and like swap them or something, but it's like getting there.
Yeah.
This is too cute.
So Wiz, like I think we've gotten into a rhythm of this, and then Orless is like, Wiz, so once you're done with this organization scheme, which one are we gonna do after that? Because I like this one, but I think it could be, I don't know, something's missing.
that makes him stop. Like, I think like halfway with like bringing a book up. When you say nothing's missing.
Not missing, but so we did the, and it's like, what'd you say? It was like by color and also by publication date, and also by, I can't remember
like
what the other thing was.
Yeah.
Size.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we're doing color and publication date and size, but we're not really taking into effect like, is it a compilation versus was it a single author, and it's kind of more of a their point of view type of thing. The other thing we could look at is just like the book materials themselves, like the bindings. I just don't know if these are the right, and like maybe go up and like shuffle some of the books around. It's like we could do something like this, and to the outside observer it's not clear what Orless is trying to say, but like the wizard like maybe does a like no one's quite sure what they're organizing based on, but like they have some sort of like way of being like, well, we could do
Yeah.
this.
I think they smile and slide the book into the last slots. And just kind of like put an arm around your shoulder and just kind of give you like a little pat. Maybe we can reorganize it. Maybe we can do that later. I kind of like, this is kind of nice.
Are you sure? Because if you need to reorganize it a few more times just to, to see how it would be, to, spend some more time reorganizing, I think that would be okay too. Everyone would understand.
They just kind of like look down towards you with like an eyebrow raise of like, what are you trying to say?
No, just like if you need some more time in here by yourself, well, mostly by yourself. I don't really count usually. Organizing that, I think that would be good, and we'll all just go about our days if you need that.
I think I've done enough organizing by myself today. you help. I thank you for helping. That I would not have thought to do it this way. And it's very eye-opening getting others' views on how things should be organized.
Maybe a break from the organizing then. I think so. We're like, by a table or whatever, in like in a small corner of it that was previously like the only empty corner of it. It's like, oh, Mez sent tea, and then like brings that over to maybe a little like sitting nook area. And the tea that Mez had gotten pretty close on this time. Like it was at one point warm, but during the fit of organizing has maybe been allowed to cool. Brings over. It's like, I promise Miss like did the tea like all the way heated up and everything. That's my fault. I let it sit there. I got swept up in the books.
Well, you know how to heat it up now.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean,
or less. I've seen you.
I just didn't want it like starts doing it while talking. I just didn't want to take credit for it, and I just I needed you to know that I think Mez is really getting good at the different temperatures and all that.
It's so low.
They'll pour tea for both and put a couple extra sugars in yours, and take a sip. And it's the first one wasn't bad. This one is much better, so it's very good.
We're really getting there.
You're getting there.
The tea leaves were actually put into something,
not just like. Here.
Dumped.
eat
Cover,
your
just
tea,
take
please.
all the grounds and just chuck it in there.
Yeah.
Just picking it out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like good 95% strained for sure.
Yes, that's what you can only hope for. I'm proud of you.
Oh.
That
Thank you.
it sounded forced when I said that. I'm just not used to saying.
No. It sounded exactly right. Yeah.
You've learned a lot, and I'm really good at magic. I think we know that, but
yes, we will. Yeah, you're really good at. Yeah, you're great at magic.
But you're getting very good at magic.
Thank you. You said that I had to just in case. So, been working on that. And then like I think from like a satchel or something that has like this poorly bound book that's like a bunch of pages and there's like a leather like outer shell to it. It's like I did all the transcribing all the spells. I got them all in here. If you want to check my work at some point, you don't
Holds
have
out
to
a hand like
either.
right now. He's like, give it to me right now, and it
Like,
starts
just
flipping through it.
Like I did some misspellings, I'm sure, and just as long as there aren't any of the bad ones, you warned me about those.
I think they flip through, and I think as they flip through, I don't know if they don't do it. I don't think in a way that Orlest can maybe notice, but like every once in a while they'll like linger on a page and like, you know, move their finger across it like they're reading. They're just like fixing some typos just to make sure you don't explode when you do these spells or anything like that, making sure that like the right colors are being used for different sort of things, you have the right kind of components and like, you know, the proper sort of things, but doesn't do it very often. Just like it literally is just doing that, so not adding anything extra. Is the whole thing filled?
I'd like to think so. Like Orlest has like really been after it the past few days.
Okay.
And there's like maybe even a like as you get further in a slight harriedness to like this is a it gets into doctor writing territory of just like
then I think like they get towards the end, like to the end, maybe toward the like the last bit, And they just kind of like, you know, their finger runs over the back of the book, not the back side, like the, you know, the paper side of the back of the book.
Yeah, like the
and
back. I don't know.
Yeah,
not back cover.
the inside back
insert?
cover.
No,
There it is.
whatever.
I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Anyway,
Close enough. We got there.
Yeah, and then closes it and hands it back. This is very powerful what you have here.
Well, it's just what you taught me, and I thought it'd be good. And then like maybe as you have the back cover, so it's like points at it, and it's just like there's a little tiny doodle of like wizard and or less. It's just like, and then I made this just to I just thought it would be nice.
Oh, I think you were pointing at as the wizard was trying to like close it.
Just like sticks a finger in there.
Yeah, and then you see that they had written a note in the back cover, small, kind of close to where that picture was. Which you can't quite make out because they close it, but they hand it back to you.
I think like I see enough of it to be like, oh yeah, okay, we'll just look at that later.
It just says, "I signed your crack."
Haggis, see you next year. And then it's the wizard's phone number.
Yeah. Take care of that.
Yeah.
Mine was a lot smaller when I was your age.
Well, there's just so many. I don't know if you had this kind of access to paper is really the thing.
Oh, I did.
There's paper everywhere in here. Did you know that?
I can get you
Of
more
course you know
if you
that.
need it.
Yeah. No, we'll get there. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, look at the binding. It's like, I don't know if we just stuff more in there, if it's a volume 2. Anyway, sets that aside. Maybe is like flipping through it for a while, like a weird long pause after that moment. It's just like, are you gonna have to fight that other wizard person? Because there's like the airships and the.
I think so. I think so. I'm hoping that maybe I won't have to do it alone this time, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're all here. Meds can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So like with the wind stuff and the
Yeah, they really can.
And I'm gonna have to brush up on this book, but I got all kinds of stuff in here now. So I think just a few more days of studying up on that, we've got it, and I could do something for sure.
Oh, you can do more than something. You can do anything.
Well, I don't know about it. And like for just the briefest of seconds is gonna like outline the like, well, no, I actually hadn't gotten to these parts yet. And it's like there's an index in the front of the book that's like haphazard. It's like we actually missed these. It's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. If you say so. But then you're gonna after we do that, you're gonna come back, right? Because like we all still need you here. Well, or I do, or I want you here.
I'm going to try so hard.
Okay.
But it's like I said before, I can't. I need to make sure that you all are safe. That comes first.
If you'd say so.
It's my house.
Yeah, I know. Looks around at the bookshelf, says, I know. Yeah.
I'll make a new promise.
Okay.
Different one.
Different one?
A slightly different one. 'Cause
Okay.
I can't promise that I can come back. But I promise to do whatever it takes to get back.
Okay. Yeah. Pinky promise though?
Not familiar with that kind of.
Oh,
magic.
it's a new thing I've been working on. It's you lock pinkies and then you do and like reach out to the whiz to do that. And it's like it's like the biggest kind of promise. Like there's normal promise and then there's like the cross my heart, hope to die, but then the pinky promise is the big one.
Well, all right. I guess we did some big magic today then.
Mm-hmm. This is I don't know if this is like 3 pages from this is the biggest magic that I've figured out. Yeah.
Hey, this is something that you knew that I didn't, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be the most powerful wizard there is, right?
Yeah. Well, now you know this one too. And then I think like Orles gets weird about it and like does the child thing of like as we're maybe packing up the things in here, like runs to the side and is like somewhere between waist and like rib cage height and does the weird side hug thing around the wizard. Just like tucks in under the arm and it's just like and in a muffled like head tucked in your arm, just like, oh, I love you, wizard. Thanks. Just like stays there for a weird awkward moment and it's like, I'll leave you to the books now though. Bye. And like goes to run and realizes that he forgot his book and then goes back and picks up the book and then goes back and does like another like real quick squeeze and then is out.
Both myself and the wizard melts into a bottle and I can never recover. No, I think they watch you go and then they look back at this bookshelf that has never been organized better. And they'll leave with a smile. God damn, Zach.
Now it's organized through the power of teamwork.
Friendship and
and
love.
found family.
God damn.
And I'm just over here going, did Orles finish the book so quickly because he wanted to make sure that he was strong enough to fight the wizard?
To fight with the wizard? Yeah. My god, oh my goodness. Alex, you need to watch last week's episode.
You're gonna say, Zach?
I think Ty really summed it up very well of, you told me, a child, that I need to know to do this just in case. So like, if I get murdered in wizard combat, you are now the wizard in charge around here.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Step it up, kid.
Get good, scrub.
It was more polite than that and affectionate, but like that was the underlying message.
Yes.
Amazing.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, we're gonna have a real weird. No, everyone survives, so we can't even have an Uncle Ben moment. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be
perfect. Cool. So now we have Ty and Zach. You get to choose something.
What were you thinking, Zach?
Honestly, I was considering the other half of that as one. You have not got to do one of these though, if you would like to pick yours, because I had a potential one with Mez as well.
Okay. I can go. What I was thinking for Enoch and the wizard and Marie can chime in too. I think I would like to cook a meal because I think that would.
That's what I was
fitting
gonna
for
pick
them.
too.
Yeah.
So this is serendipitous.
I
like
don't
that.
have.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, sorry to interrupt on that, but it was just like I saw that one and I'm like, I would like to defer if Ty wants to pick cook a meal. But otherwise, that was one in the back of my head. I'm like trying to think through like possibles for each person. I'm like, I don't know, maybe Orles wants to learn how to cook a meal.
Yeah, that's the next step is meal.
Yeah.
I love it.
I want to cook a meal with the wizard, but I don't think Enoch. I don't have any particular. I don't think Enoch has anything particular to say. I was a scene I would frame, but I don't think Ty doesn't have anything to say as Enoch like specifically. But I have the scene to frame, and you can chime in or do whatever.
Sure. As an
sometimes
aside, there's the word homie is in this sentence. It 1000% looks like it says horny, and this is not the vibe.
horny and comforting? Probably,
Horny
yeah,
and
that
Yeah,
one.
what kind of meal do you cook? Something fancy? Something horny and comforting?
Horny and comforting? Yeah, it's that.
Oysters,
Always.
chocolate.
Sometimes it's easier to take care of yourself when you're also caring for others. What kind of meal do you cook? Something fancy, something homey and comforting, something basic and nutritious? How do you divide the tasks? What do you talk about as you work? I think, because we established that the wizard had been doing dishes in our last time out of these cooking scenes to help. But we had talked about cooking as well in general, so I think what occasionally the Enoch and the wizard have, what I'd like for us to do at some point is, the wizard previously had like the tablet and just summoned food. Yeah, that. I think it's kind of like an Iron Chef-esque game now, where the wizard summons something, and then like Enoch and the wizard talk about like how to plate it, what like sides to go with it, and like incorporate whatever you summon into a dish that we like customize and make together.
Okay. So the wizard's taking off their jacket, kind of like set it off to the side, has their hair pulled up out of the way. And they have the tablet, and they're just kind of like searching through things and like looking up at Enoch and like searching through other things. Okay. And like flicks their finger like 3 times. And on the workstation, which has expanded slightly over the past couple of weeks to make more space for these rather outrageous meals that they've been making, there is a very large fish that has like 2 heads and like a multitude of tails. There is a very large overflowing bowl of different kind of citrus fruits, and then there is a what are they called? It's basically like a giant. No. I know what it is. It's like a big container of like sauerkraut or something similar, something like really rank and like stanky. And they just kind of like look at that and like look at you like,
Well,
put the tablet
this fish, while visually impressive, the heads and tails are not ideal for cooking, so we'll just, chop those right off if you want to be in charge of that. And okay. I'm going to take some of these and like looks at these citrus fruits, which are probably nothing like he's ever seen, nothing that he has back.
They're too big. They're like this big.
I think perhaps making some sort of juice for Orlest, and I think I'm gonna add a little sugar and make a glaze for the fish. Cover it in salt, put it in the oven for a while, bake it up nice, and we'll debone it. Put the citrus glaze on, and kind of like looks to the sauerkraut and makes a frowny face.
Thought I'd throw you a curveball this time.
Yeah. Sauerkraut and
too
fish.
Easy.
Yeah. Boy, yeah, I know how to cook with sauerkraut. That's a thing that I've ever done in my life.
The sauerkraut could go in the trash.
Go
into
the garbage.
You gave Ty, the player, also a curveball on this particular.
Yeah, I do how to cook some things. Sauerkraut's not one of them.
It doesn't help that sauerkraut is a cooked thing already. And
I don't know the last time I've ever eaten it in my human life, so I don't even know what it tastes like.
Oh, it's like horseradish and cabbage, and it's mushy and...
Don't worry, I'm currently looking up dishes that have both fish and sauerkraut.
Excellent.
Amazing.
I mean, sauerkraut's often put on sausages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cabbage that has been, I think, cured in a vinegar.
Yeah, it's like super. It's quite pungent.
Yeah, used more as like almost not quite a side salad, but like kind of a garnishy type thing, and a lot of.
It's
but
kind
just
of, you could
maybe
almost
more
use
of
it like coleslaw, but not quite.
Yeah.
It's like if cabbage was mustard.
Yes. Yep.
I hate that.
Yep. Yep.
That's too good of a description.
It's so good.
I'm Polish.
If cabbage
Yeah,
was
fair.
mustard.
Look, Maria could have said lutefisk. Like, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
I could have, but if I remembered what that was. I know what it is, but if I remembered, never mind. You have sauerkraut, though, is what you have.
Excellent. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to, since there is so much juice, I'm going to add some citrus to the sauerkraut in a small shot-like glass, and say I think Olest would enjoy doing some sort of odd drink challenge with this. A shot of sauerkraut, and a little bit of this limey-looking thing and lemon. Just a quick little see if you can hold it in. I think that sounds like a game he would enjoy, and seeing if we could all stomach.
We could also do the same thing, but one of them is the sauerkraut juice, and one of them is the good juice, but they look the same.
That's what
Or
we call
we
this
have
game.
a large selection of them, and like 2 of them are the sour ones.
Okay, I like that. Do you have a name for this this game?
Or less choice.
That's good. All right. Yes, I think he'll really love that. It'll be a nice way to. I'll make a really nice. I have to make like a key lemon lime pie for dessert to really
That's good.
offset this nonsense.
You should also add this, and I'll pull out this this very unappealing looking, like very hard exterior. It has some like weird tufts of like fluff coming out of it. You should also add this though, because this is one of my favorites. Fruit. It's fruit. It's believe me, it's fruit. It looks like a nut. It's fruit.
Okay. What is it? What flavor? What's the flavor profile on this thing? On this bad boy?
It's a little bit. It's almost like you take the texture of a coconut, but you add like the flavor of kind of a like a little bit of like a tangy rhubarb, but also a bit of like blueberry to it.
Fucking blueberry.
But it's got like that like pulpy.
Okay.
Gotta scrape it out with like a spoon.
I may be incorporating it into the crust for this kind of limey lemon pie. I think that would be adding elements to that.
That would be good.
It'd be really tasty.
That would be very good. That'd be good. All right, so head and tail off. And just kind of like looks at it. I don't think they've ever like decapitated a dead thing before, anything before. And they're just kind of like with their hands out. There's like probably a nice boning knife. And they're just kind of like standing in front of this fish that's probably a good like 2 feet long, if not more. And it's just just kind of reaches down for the knife. So the whole head's.
Yes, you don't want to. I mean, you can use the knife, use your magic, whatever you need to, but you gotta the tails and the
No,
heads.
I
Really,
want to
just need
do.
the
I
middle.
want to do. Listen, I want. If we're doing, gotta do this right. And they just kind of like square up to it. It takes them. It takes them a bit, but they manage to kind of. It takes a couple good whacks, because they don't commit to it at all. And they don't necessarily look proud of it afterwards, but they're like, okay, all right. And they just kind of go back down to the tails and are like, okay. And then just like set the knife away. Just kind of like move the head bits and the tail bits to the sides, like out of your way, so you can start doing things with this thing. I think they like carry, like they have like the heads in their hands and are just like looking. They go over to a window and just like throw it out.
Yes, that's very important. Important part is not keeping the fish heads around.
And they just
now they will grow fish head trees.
Yeah, no, the fish heads grow legs and they just kind of walk away.
Oh my god. That's how they reproduce asexually, by budding.
Yeah, like a succulent.
This is the worst. Don't eat these.
No. Well, we're eating the parts that you should. Listen, you cut off this part and then you get the head back out so that it can grow. And you just it's fine.
Sustainable food source.
Yeah,
it's great.
But they're like entirely covered now in goo, and they just kind of like do like 2 like wipes at the front of them, and it just kind of all splats onto the ground, and their clothes are fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, they will. I think that they'll help you with all of your things, and I think they start to take up a little bit more of like the physical prep work, because they have noticed how concentrated you have to be in order to like be corporeal and handle things like knives and you know, things of that nature. So I think that they are in this instance taking a more direct asking like, oh, how do you do, like, let me tell me how to do this and I'll do it. So this might not be like the most pristine looking meal, but it's the first one the wizard has made without using any magic except to like make things appear, like seasonings or dry rice or whatever we use to make it. But this is the first one that they've done without any magic at all.
Nice.
And I think towards the end, once they're like, they kind of leave the plating to you, because you have that, you got that, you got that down. But I think they're like, they've got like a rag or something, and they're just like wiping off their hands and the counter and everything. They just kind of stop, and look over to you that you're as you're plating this meal. I'm really glad you came here. I mean, dinners have gotten a lot better. It's nice having you here.
Thank you. I'm enjoying being here and cooking, and I'm sure expanding Orles's diet from a less entirely goo-based diet is probably good for the growing child.
I think we would have. No, I would not have figured that out fast enough. And I think they'll like take a little like they'll take a fork from nearby and take like a tiny piece of that pie and like eat it. So now there's just like a little tiny bit of the pie missing. And just like that's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Glad you enjoy. Save some for after the Orles's choice.
Just have like a whole like fleet of shot glasses set up on the side.
There were big fruits. There's way more than we thought there would be, and there was a lot of sauerkraut. So,
so it's actually more like 50-50 as opposed to like 90-10.
1 out of 4. Yeah.
Why did living in the house now turn into Fear Factor?
Listen, we have to keep the child entertained, and we're also needing to be entertained, and this is way best of both worlds, right?
You get a growing child, and he's gonna want to do food challenges at some point.
Yep.
True.
He's gonna go through that phase.
You get a demon who has a body for the first time, really.
Oh my god, this is literally, it's going to be Orlest and Mez, and, and the wizard and Enoch are just gonna be like,
No.
We're just gonna sit back and watch this disaster.
Everyone's learning about their growing bodies, but in different ways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I just imagine just one splash art screen of just like Mez with like a green face and Orless just like spewing chunks just like over the corner.
It's just Mez trying to remember manners that Enoch was trying to teach them, and just as like doesn't want to insult the food, just goes, "It's so good."
It's either that or less like takes all the shots. Like they're all good in their own way.
Oh, okay, this one's kind of, and then
Or less is just gonna Joey Tribbiani the triple cake.
or Les gets all of the ones that are supposed to be the joke shots. It's like, these are great.
Spoiler, I'm into this. This is great.
Do this.
It's kind of just like a real tangy flavor.
I feel like no, or less gets the not joke ones, and it's like, I don't understand. These are amazing. That's just like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, we'll each do 2 if the sad adults won't get in on it, and then yeah, we just divide them up. It's like, yeah, this is great. I love this.
Amazing.
considering I was a person who chugged an entire like cup of like homemade like green like verde like salsa.
Oh.
Mm.
Mm.
That's too much.
I got $5 out of it.
There you go. See,
I was 16. We all do stupid
Felt in
things
there.
at 16. Yep.
And then I think it's
Yeah.
Zach.
it is.
Last
yeah.
one.
All right. So I had an idea of one for Mez, where I challenged someone to a game. We've
You
seen
have
that
come to the
Mez-
right place.
I've been like racking my brain though for what the game is, and I've got like 2 ways this goes. One is it's like some sort of cat's cradle thing to you can figure out your hands, and we're doing the little yarn thing or whatever.
Huh?
Or the other one is it's like no one else, or like the wizard doesn't want to play with me anymore, and I want to do
The
like
wizard
a,
has gotten
a checkers
much,
or
much
chess
more,
or something.
Yeah. The wizard's gotten as like the days. I kind of imagine like since we had our like interaction, has gotten less fun the last couple
Yeah.
of days.
Yeah, maybe or less bursts in the room with like a chess set and is like, hey, the wizard won't play with me, clangs it on the table. It's like, I figured this might be a fun way to work on your corporeal dexterity with moving small wooden objects. And also, like I said, the wizard won't play with me. I need someone to practice against.
Okay.
Has not waited for an answer, is setting up a chessboard.
I think I recognize this game from somewhere.
Yeah, you'll pick it up. It's super easy. You just gotta, all the pieces do different things. These ones can just move forward. Well, unless it's their first turn, then they can move 2 forward. But also if they get next to another one, they can diagonally go. And then this one's a horse, but it's actually called a knight, and they go in L's. And it's like showing that, and it's like I think it goes on this montage of explaining it, but then gets into the weird stuff. Like, and it's like, okay, so here's the thing: is like, then if you get into this situation, you could do an en passant, and it fades away because Zach can't remember exactly the details of how to do that either, but Orlest for sure does. It's like, all right, so do you got all of that?
Mez like recounts everything verbatim
Yeah.
because they were just
See-
like enthralled and like listening and like grasping as if this was like life lessons.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Yes, you got all of it.
Yep.
This is great. I tried to teach Enoch this, and he only got most of it. He was forgetting like some of the minor details though, and I think this will be good. This will be good training.
It helps to have a very old mind.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the like spinning the board. It's like, do you want to go first, or do you want to?
Which would you prefer?
You go first, and then like spins the board again.
Okay. and they'll just. Do I have to move every piece?
No.
Okay.
I
Because
don't
I
think-
was part of the chess club, so I could do this, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting for other people.
I don't think this is good gameplay for us to participate in, nor for anyone who potentially may be watching this, for us to just name off chess moves.
I would like to roleplay a full game of chess.
Okay. Wow.
I'm gonna pull up like an online
Knight
chess.
to
and
H3, please.
we're just
I will
gonna
move.
play
I will
that.
move the right. Okay, so I would be white.
Oh,
so-
please don't.
Dang.
No.
So
And-
wait.
and
I'm gonna move the
You-
queen side.
And we fade
queen
to black.
side knight
You two
first.
are going to roleplay the moves, and me and Maria are going to roleplay the chess characters.
Yeah.
Ah.
This is a wizard's chest.
Don't send me forward.
Or too chessy.
I don't want to die like this.
I shall smite you down where you stand.
This is good content. People love
Yeah, this is
This
a
is
weird
really
fever
good.
dream thing where
This is the dream I wish I had.
the weird thing is the whole thing is a metaphor for Enoch and the wizard's relationship.
Yeah.
And we kind of see that playing out through the chess, but then there's the metatextual layer of Mez and or less playing chess for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty high-priced.
They will be studying this at the Oscars for years to come.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get on the nominees for next year.
The Inside the
Um,
Actor Studio special.
Mm-hmm. So the game things, and by game I mean not chess, but our traveling home, theoretically the game we were playing, that it asks of us is, we got the what game do you play? I think this is mostly me, but maybe you. The are you present in the moment or fearful and distracted? I'm thinking yes to all of the above. On
Yeah,
Celeste is like
all the emotions.
is like, yeah, we'll do some like, especially at the beginning, it's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna do this opener, and is like sidetracked for 3 moves and is like kind of staring off into the distance. Maybe until he realizes that Mez is actually like for sure playing very well. It's like, because tried this against Enoch and it didn't work, and maybe like it played against the wizard so much that like is kind of figured out their whole deal. But it kind of brings them back into it. It's like, oh, okay, and starts getting really pulled into it.
Mez moving pieces and kind of following, noticing kind of or less behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Something on your mind?
Well, the chess, that's on my mind. I was trying to, sits there for a second and it's like, well, I was trying to, but also the wizard, and Enoch and the house and the evil wizard. Not in this, we're not playing that version of chess with there's any of those, but just it seems like something's going on, and there's like a whole confrontation brewing, and we also did have to escape, or some of the people had to escape from the evil wizard. There's the time we were in their lair, and then
Mez will just reach across the table and just kind of gently pat Orles's hand. It's okay. It's a lot.
Yeah. It like doesn't move real quick. It's like, do you think it's gonna be okay? Do you think we're gonna be great, right?
I think we are much stronger together.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of us have learned and grown. You especially. That I think when the time comes, they will not, by they I mean the evil wizard,
Mhm.
will not be able to beat all of us. And I think as long as we stick together, yes, or less, we will be okay.
Mhm.
I will make sure we are okay.
Mhm. Okay. I've been getting everyone to make sure that they promise that we're all really doing our best when we get into that situation. It's good to have you on board for that plan.
Well, I've come to rather like it here, and I really appreciate life in a way. And fun is fun.
Mhm.
You've taught me that.
Yeah, do you like fun now?
I do like fun,
How?
but it also makes me tired. Like too much
Yeah.
fun and like sore, but in like a good
Mhm.
way. But I find that I'm sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one of the things in like from probably a stack of books that came with the chest. Is like, so I heard somebody describe it as that sometimes you can have too much of a good thing all at once, and I think that's maybe it.
So like you and the candy goo.
Yeah, you know how sometimes I'll eat all the candy goo,
Mhm.
and then I'll keep eating it because I love the candy goo.
Mhm.
And it's my favorite food. It's the only food I'll eat, and just handfuls of it. But then we get to the reverse eating times, where I have to go in the other room, where that we can hose down, and they won't let me out until I'm done with all the candy goo.
Yes, and now that I'm a lot more solid, that doesn't go through me as much as it used to. So I would
Yeah, I'm
appreciate if
sorry.
you don't throw up on me again.
Yeah, if that's been catching you lately, I've been
Just
working on that.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could both learn from what is it? Pacing ourselves.
Huh. Pacers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I really care for you, Orlist.
Oh.
I hope you are not still afraid of me. I'm sorry if that is something that I made you feel.
Oh no, I don't think I've ever been afraid of you. I care about you as well. I know I'd have to do so many of these deep heart-to-hearts in one day, but again, the too much of a good thing. It's just like a deep 50-yard stare. It's just like, or less finds out he's an introvert.
Oh, buddy.
Oh no.
It's like, oh no, this is too many emotions for me. It's like, yeah.
Well,
Do you like being around us? You've grown to like it here?
Yes. I think it was once I stopped secluding myself, and then I don't know, just being included. It's hard to feel like an outsider or a prisoner when you become part of the family.
Mm-hmm. Can't be an outsider when you're part of the insiders.
That 100%. Couldn't have put it better myself. Also, checkmate.
Or if like does the thing where like he perches up like kind of squatted, hunched over on the chair, looking over the chessboard for a long time. It's like, and it's like starting to try and reverse engineer the pieces, and like maybe gets out a manual. It's like, okay, he's like trying to figure out where he went wrong. It's like, okay.
Bez goes, I have a confession to make.
Yes.
I know what chess is.
Okay.
I've played it for a very long time.
That makes me feel so much better, honestly, because
You did very well.
thank you. You have to at least stick around long enough because I gotta at least get one over on you. Because, and then it's just like puzzle.
I just like we reset the board, and I go, okay, well first,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
like fade to black. The camera pulls out of the room.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What?
Let's go. It's like, no, wait, hold on. And then look, runs around to the other side of the board.
You could do that?
Oh.
Did anyone learn anything or cross up any marks?
So I think I had crossed a lot of marks in one scene
Yeah,
because I went back
amazing.
through and I was like, I don't have any other ones. Let me check just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I can get both of my last two in Act 2. Finale, climax time.
Hey.
I for sure very intentionally got the tell someone you love them and want them to stay.
Yeah.
Got it. That's the big star one. We did it. I won.
Nice.
I did
What I
the
learned is like hard to qualify on that
Yeah.
one. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little amorphous. I'm trying to think of how to word it.
You don't have to.
have a concerned conversation about a member of the family behind their back. I feel like I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. Yep. Because I had a talk with Enoch.
When do we have to talk?
Didn't we have a heart-to-heart?
Well, this is you're looking at the Act 2 marks. They're separate marks for each act.
Biscuits. Yeah,
So
but I
that
feel
was-
like I crossed out things.
For the Act 2 ones, well, you weren't in any scenes last week, so and that was when we
Sure
started
wasn't.
Act 2. So your Act 2 ones would have just had to been from today, from really this scene. That's okay. We have another scene. You don't. It's not like required to hit them all. Just
Yeah,
when you
okay.
need to. I haven't hit. I did miss one, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I asked.
All
I
right.
hit all the other ones.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
For the resolution.
Is it time?
Ooh.
The moment you've been dreading arrives. The war arrives on your doorstep, and the enemy makes a direct attack against the home. It's time to fight to protect what you love at any cost. This game is played for everyone, and it is played when all Act 2 games have been played. If anyone has not met their starred mark for the Act 2, they will need to incorporate it. So I needed that too. At the end of the game, everyone's marks from Acts 1 and 2 will be total to determine the ending. First, decide as a group, why has war finally broken out? What happened? Where does the first attack happen, and why does it jeopardize the home? When you've answered these questions, move on to war.
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 What
gets
is it
everywhere.
good for?
What happened? Why war?
Why is war?
Why is war?
Does anyone else have a?
No, you
Anything?
go start for it. Start
I think what would make sense for me, at least, is that like because we've mentioned before that like there are more airships, there is a lot more presence of Theris and whoever Theris represents from that kingdom. I think that could be taken by the Dorgs. The issue overall is the Dorgans versus the kingdom of something.
The kingdom of cool wizards.
The
that are-
Enzelian Empire. So
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think-
say that too.
yeah, it was right on the tip of my tongue. I think with like the increased presence of the Enzelian Empire, like searching like to the wilds towards like the border of Dorgan, I think that like kind of was the spark needed to kind of fully inflame this into war between
Yeah.
Dorgan and Zelia.
Yeah, for sure.
Dorgan.
So I think to kind of make this hit a little closer to home, I think the first attack happens a little close to Enoch's home. Not on your house.
Yeah,
Not on
like
your
same
house, but
village.
like so
Yeah.
uncomfortably close to where your family lives.
Okay.
And I think what it might have been was a ploy to try to draw like us and our house out because they knew where your sister lived. They know where
That's
your sister
true. Yeah.
lives.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So if your family potentially was in danger, you may pull on like, hey, can we go rescue my family kind of thing?
Yeah.
But because it was in the other kingdom place, they're like, yo, you dropping bombs on us. Fight.
Like, hey, no, we're just antagonizing a wizard.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, you can't just say that.
You did drop bombs on, places.
Are you ready to start war?
I guess.
All out war.
War. There'll
Oh.
be 2 rounds of scenes in
Side
which
note.
players will.
It
Yes.
says why does it jeopardize a home? I think
Oh yeah, you're right.
maybe
Yeah.
in this moment, we were and maybe it was like a last minute thing. Like the wizard was gonna surprise you by bringing you like home to see your family before all of this happened, just in case. So like we're there and the wizard's about to like surprise you with like, hey, look, we're home, and like opens the door and then there's just like boom, it's just like explosions.
Is it just Donald Glover coming in with pizza to like the entire apartment on fire?
Yep. Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Maybe Enoch rolls in just like, oh no.
Oh no.
The chess set goes, oh.
Now it's war.
Now war. There will be 2 rounds of scenes in which players will select a prompt, answer the questions, and play out a brief, maximum of 1 or 2 minutes scene.
Oh god, they don't know us.
The wizard will start each round with a fixed... Well, keep in mind, we also have ending scenes to go through after this. The wizard will start each round with a fixed prompt while everyone else chooses from a list. And the player whose scene it is will roll 2d6 to determine what complications arise. They may add 1 to the roll for each of their Act 2 marks they have hit, up to a bonus of +3. If a player has an unfulfilled mark and they are able to incorporate that mark into the framing of their prompt, they may take the extra +1 in rolling that prompt. This can be done in each round if players have enough unfulfilled marks. If a player takes a mark this way, skip writing the I learned. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 2d6 technically. Yeah. It's yeah.
Amazing. Complication is narrated by a player not in the scene. Play immediately proceeds to the next prompt.
Gotcha. So we start with wizard prompt then?
Yep.
For round 1?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna change the music to something more sinister.
More. Let's go.
I don't even have that up.
Sinister it up.
Okay.
Cool. Do I need to be the bad person?
No.
Not yet.
You. Yeah, not
Yeah,
yet.
actually, maybe not at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I don't think at all. Yeah.
I get to participate
Yeah.
Yeah.
as Mez?
It's the end. Yeah, of course.
Is this your character that you picked?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to back down. All right. So, round 1, fight. Defend the home from direct assault. The home comes under direct attack either from enemy soldiers or your own. Does it really matter? What happens? Is it artillery fire, soldiers on the ground, bombs dropped from airships? Describe how you use your power to repel the first wave of assault, then declare your love for the curse before charging back into danger.
Yay!
How lovely. All right. So the house is, the home is near where it's on the ground right now. It is near where your family home is as these bombs just start falling around. And they don't really stop. So the wizard runs outside, like after like being like, hey, I have a surprise to show you. Opens the door. Look at this. This is a cool place. Boom, 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 boom. Is concerned not like firstly for this house and everyone else, because it's not a bomb-proof building, but also knowing that your family could be in danger. They I think they rush outside, and they see the airships that are still there, that are still coming, and just kind of like wave their hand, and it's kind of shaking a little bit, and the ships they basically get into these like little bubbles of like very dark, almost like fog like spheres, and after the wizard just kind of like moves their hand, they like swiftly throw it to the side, and all of them just kind of like bump into each other, but kind of like balloons bumping into each other. They like kind of like bounce and like jumble around a bit, and then they just kind of toss, and they just kind of go like flying away. But in doing that, like their hand is now like all black and smoky, like all the way up their arm. It's barely a hand at this point. And there's still, like, it was only like 3 or 4 ships. There's still like a dozen or so more that are on the way here. They rush back. I imagine that I had taken Enoch to like the front door entryway to kind of like show them like, hey, here's this thing. Where does Enoch? Does Enoch move between?
Upon seeing all this, no.
Yeah.
I think if it happened pretty quickly, Enoch's just kind of like taking it in and like trying to process. I think.
Okay.
So it's still by you.
Okay. Because the wizard had gone out a little bit into the like out of the house to do that.
Would probably still be by the door then. Like
Okay.
it followed you maybe a little bit, like absent-mindedly, but not like running after you or anything.
Okay. They would come back, and with their like not smoke arm, they would kind of grab you and like pull you back inside a little bit away from the door, look back to see like where the ships are, and then turn back towards you, still with their like wispy arm down by their side, not really like using it too terribly much, but they would look at you and would say, I'm going to make sure they're all right. Okay? I'm going to make sure that they're all right and that you're all right, because I care about all of you. I won't let anything happen to you all. Okay?
Okay, I'll go tell Mez and all that, and we'll help. Thank you.
Be careful, please.
You too.
I think that they'll like really, really quickly like pull you in for like a one-armed hug, like a really tight one. And they'll just whisper, I love you, in your ear, and then like push you away and like go outside and slam the door behind them. And as they like leave, you can see that they're already kind of like changing into that weird, super like black, misty, incorporeal being.
Cool.
How does the curse react?
I think, I mean, like with shock, I think like the last thing you see before the door closes is like you can see part of Enoch's like human face, like as the darkness is pulled away from it, and then the door closes. Sounds like other prompt time. Are we gonna do it in regular order? So, Mez first.
Okay. Foolishly leap into danger. Okay, that's what I'm reading, right?
You get to pick.
Yeah, there's like
one.
6
Wait.
of them.
I'm reading the other prompts.
Maria, did you roll 2d6 for complications?
Oh, we didn't find out about complications.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Do I?
I think you got it.
Do I need to?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
gotta?
And then somebody gets to narrate.
No. But what if
No,
no?
that's
What
all
if it
right.
goes bad?
But what if it's a 6?
That-
Did you add your I learns?
Oh, 8 then. 9
Hey.
technically, because I got it in this scene
nice.
of awkwardly expressing my true feelings before leaping into danger.
Can't squeeze that one more
Yay.
there.
Nope.
Did it said? All right.
Nope. I couldn't find a way to do something
Max plus
stupid to
3
protect
times.
someone, so
No.
yeah, max a plus 3 times.
That's true.
So that's
Yeah.
9.
So your action mostly works, but also causes a minor complication. I think this is supposed to be narrated by someone not in the scene, which I think leaves Mez and I to some degree.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Got anything right off the bat, Alex?
I'm reading.
Yeah. Okay.
If you've
So
got
the
something,
thing-
go.
Yeah, the thing the wizard did was like bump around a bunch of the airships, right? Like jostle them. I'm trying to think of the minor complication that causes.
Oh, one of them probably comes towards the house.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, like you shook them around and they kind of cleared out from the area around Enoch's house, but then it does like bounce one really hard, and it is like right at the doorway of the wizard hut. Just like completely squared up with us back there.
Amazing.
Oh boy. Question. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, really am enjoying this. I'm looking at the other prompts, correct? I'm not looking at other things.
Correct. Yeah, the other
Yeah.
prompts, there's like 6 or so
Mhm.
there.
Well-
And there's like, you can take it just as it's written, or they give like descriptors, like questions you can ask yourself or anything after that.
So I know that if I haven't like checked off one of my things, but I'm able to like merge it into what I'm doing, I can add a +1.
Correct.
But I don't get to learn anything from it.
Yeah.
And my
Yes.
main thing was make a pact with the cursed to assist the wizard.
Ooh.
And
okay.
I like where
so
that's starting.
one of the things that I would like to do is make a temporary pact with Enoch to be able to step foot outside of the house to help the wizard this one time.
Okay.
Demon Pact.
What actual prompt are you picking?
I think I'm gonna do the
There's probably a couple that can fit.
I was either the foolishly leap into danger,
Or meddle
Repel
with
an atta-
forces beyond
I was gonna
your
say, yeah,
understanding.
meddle.
yeah,
It's
meddle
very
with
well,
forces
too.
beyond your
Honestly,
understanding.
Repel
yeah.
attack or keep family from panicking of like you taking charge of this one could probably also
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah, you really
I-
any one of you choose would work.
You're doing a thing that's dangerous.
Well, since I'm making the pact with Enoch, Enoch, which one do you think it would be for?
I think reading like a little bit more into the prompt, I think meddle with forces beyond understanding could be interesting as you kind of narrate this
Mhm.
a little bit. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, like as far as
Because
what
you've never.
like
I
how
doubt
this
that you've
happens.
had like a pact with multiple people, or like you've
Yeah.
never left the house.
Yeah, and I don't know what it's going to do to Enoch. All I know is that the wizard's out there by themselves, and that's not going to fly. So, yeah, I will just. Oh boy. I'm. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking too deep into it. I was like, how does it affect Enoch? Does Enoch change at all? Does it make Enoch less
Dice will tell
cursed?
us that.
Is-
Maybe Enoch can. How about you describe what you do, and then Enoch can describe like how he thinks it affects him.
Yeah.
The weird way would be allowing me to possess them so that I can use their body to leave the house.
Interesting.
That's a way.
That is a
that's
way.
something for sure.
But that would be really weird. And then the other way would just be to essentially be using Enoch's energy to withstand being outside of the house, which would temporarily weaken Enoch, making it probably harder for them to make themselves solid in certain situations. Essentially doing to Enoch what the Wiz kind of done the...
Kinda, yeah.
I kind of like. I think we could combine them, like where you're kind of possessing me, but also kind of like doing the second one, like
Probably draining us both.
yeah,
Kind of like
weird soul
piggybacking
bonds.
on Enoch as
Yeah.
opposed to you're leeching on Enoch, not possessing Enoch.
so like Enoch still has like his kind of shaded body, but it's a lot like more wispy and thinner. But there's like a Mez with that kind of same darkness and shade.
We
with,
become
like, a
one.
form behind me, like as a larger shadow of me.
I'm puppeting.
Terrifying.
Yeah, you just fuse. Yeah.
Yeah. And run out to assist the Wiz.
Roll those dice. Roll those 2d6.
Yeah, let's see how that
Why
goes.
don't we try that real quick?
Or just get a taste of those dice.
My D6s are right here.
Nice.
They're within my reach.
The question is, what do you try to do to aid the wizard when they are clearly struggling?
I want to do. Let's say 2d6s.
Grab dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to kind of Guardians of the Galaxy this shit, where it's you're not alone, and I want to, instead of one person using a power, it's us both drawing on the energy together and doubling our forces. So it's no longer siphoning, it's combining. Okay. 7 plus 1?
Do you have any other acts too?
Anything else you can add?
Anything else you have learned this act?
Anything I've learned this act?
This act.
Yeah, any of the like
Act
marks
two.
you've done. from
I learned that Orlest is my best friend. So, and then that feelings are interesting. So plus 2, so 9? No, 7,
yeah, I was gonna
8,
say
9.
9. Yeah. So minor complication territory.
Yeah.
Mostly works but causes a minor complication. So mostly works on your weird, whatever you want to call this, fusion team up soul bond.
Ha.
Meznok or
Oh,
Ines?
I hate this.
Mesnak.
Meznok sounds
Mesnok,
very cool.
I think. Yeah.
Mesnak sounds really cool. Mesnak.
So I because you said you got a 9, right?
E.
So I think. Did you have an idea, Zach?
Only super vaguely. If you've got a more concrete one, definitely
I have
go
one,
for it.
and maybe we can piggyback.
Yeah,
but,
we can.
So I think that Mez, you channel your energy through Enoch, kind of as a conduit, to give the Wiz, who's kind of being accosted by these strange creatures that are, they kind of, I guess the closest thing would be like, I'm trying to think of what the other wizards, like weird henchman soldier things would look like. Because the wizard, the Wiz is kind of floating, by the way, like up in the air. This weird gray, black, misty thing. And like the best thing I can think is like tadpoles, but not. These like swarmy things. And you channel your energy and manage to like let out this large burst of like forceful air energy that blows a bunch of these away. But in doing so, you exert so much force that you blow yourself out of Enoch and back into the house. And you're not sure if you'll be able to do that again in that way.
Okay. Yeah. So instead of it so much like giving you a boost, the way it envisioned it was more of a moment with the Wiz going, instead of holding on to it, share it. And it's just both of us kind of doing that. In a way where it's like you're no longer doing what you've normally done, which is not necessarily hoard this power, but like, you know, like trying to seek this power and trying to hold on to this power and trying to be powerful. It's about being powerful together. The power of friendship. But I am totally into the it blowing my ass out.
Well, and I think that because it does have a minor complication, so you do kind of do what you set out to do, which is to you know, give this bolster of power that ends up driving away a bunch of these small creatures that are accosting the wizard.
And then I just leave Enoch.
And then you just yeet yourself back into the house without meaning to, leaving Enoch there still
and dry
in like a not fully good space because you just like sapped him. And then we're just like, okay, bye.
I didn't like, okay, bye.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, yeah, I kind of like that where it's like it works, but only for so long because you've not done this before and it's so chaotic and powerful. That
Yeah,
it's like
it definitely merges
you can only
with
hold
that.
on to it.
Yeah. Meddling with things I don't understand. Here for it.
Wonderful.
Sorry, Enoch.
Oops.
Oops, you're outside and there's baddies all around.
Yep.
As it's just like,
Yeah, imagine you like shot yourself backwards and there's like maybe you know, through the door, the open door, and there's like either like a staircase or something that you just like just like splayed on it.
legit just feel like it's like Doctor Strange coming back from his astral projected body.
Yeah.
Now I'm just solid slamming against a wall.
Yep.
Get yours or last.
I've got an idea. If you've got one, you may also go. What are you thinking? You still plotting?
I know I got mine. If you want more time to think
way.
about it. Now that I am left alone on this outside.
I mean, I'm
the wizard
here.
just got the creature things blown away, right?
Yeah.
Is that where we're at?
And it's kind of like making, I think that they look like they're going to be making their way towards one of the bigger airships nearby.
Okay. I am going to pick Foolishly Leap into Danger.
How dare you?
You don't care if the wizard is more powerful, you'll be damned if you let them face this danger alone. What foolish risk do you take to help the wizard and why? What do you hope to accomplish and what actually happens? I think what happens is like he's now like had some time to process what has been going on and like had some help from Mez, but now Mez is gone. I don't know what happened to Mez and Mez is coming back. And I think if I see the wizard trying to like ascend to go towards the airship, so like starting to float up a little bit, I think Enoch starts to run towards like where the wizard is and like whatever creatures might be remaining or straggling or coming back. And you see his body take like a much more human form as he just tackles one and like tries to pin it to the ground and like fight back another one as he just tries to prevent them from getting to you.
You're doing it, Peter.
Well, let's see. Well, I don't know, that's so fast. I have dice to roll.
He's trying to do it, Peter.
What was my? I didn't have another. Well, I incorporated my last mark, which is foolishly throw yourself into danger to protect family.
Hey.
Okay, so it's a +1 to this, and it's plus whatever else from this scene. Okay, so +3. 4 + 3 is a 7.
Oh no.
Could have been worse,
buddy.
So close.
Yeah. What kind of complications do I arise for
The action
Enoch?
mostly works.
Yeah, so your intent was to kind of just like knock around some of the baddies and give the wizard some space to do the thing?
Basically make sure nothing could try to get to the wizard while the wizard was trying to like ascend and take care of other business.
Yeah, you can tell that the wizard's like trying to collect like there's like this weird extra energy around them. They're trying to like collect this energy around them. Some of it is Mez like cool like spectral wind juices.
There's some Mez juice in there for sure.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to phrase it like that?
Because you were on mute. And
You were because you couldn't say anything against
see if we can
I
get a
just-
laugh.
I just left like a wet fart.
Yeah, yep. A lingering.
Huh? I'm stress eating, okay? I've got all of...
That's fair. So what, we decided knock around some of the baddies. Do we have a complication in mind? How do we hurt Enoch?
How do you hurt Enoch? How do you make Enoch hurt?
How do you solve a problem?
Do you hurt Enoch by hurting the wizard, or do you hurt Enoch by hurting Enoch?
Or, secret third option, do you hurt Enoch by putting his other family also in danger?
It's true.
Enoch, you could be hurt in so many ways.
I have so many weaknesses. Oops, all weaknesses.
Oops.
Since Enoch had described the tackle as becoming very solid for the first time, in doing so, he now feels the full brunt of what it is to put your body into it, and takes a good gash, good deep one that bleeds and hurts. Not fatal,
for the first time in a while,
but it hurts.
Fully corporeal in a way that is like, oh hey, you can be hurt by material means.
Oops, it doesn't go through you this time. Oops.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's complication. Yep.
Sounds like it. All right. So especially given the circumstances we described from the wizard's first attack thing, that one of the airships got knocked right at us, and I think is attempting maybe to board the airship, or is like, like their airship is like right by our floating question mark house or landed house, doesn't matter. Like the wizard's gone, Enoch's off doing the thing. Mez is in the ether somewhere between the place where the wizard used to be and the house. It's unclear maybe in these brief moments, but I think that we're gonna attempt to just like keep the house safe for like long enough to get this whole thing going, and just try to like fight off all the enemies. So run to the table, get the spell book. There's probably like secret emergency pouch of components or something that's slung across or less like side, and it's just got like all the like weird little wizard components here. Gets out on the deck and starts just like, slinging some fireballs and etc. at the enemies.
Repel that attack.
I've marked 2 things I learned, and I can't find any way to mark the other 2. Especially because one of them's turned to someone for protection, and everyone's gone right now.
I'm just a child
from my
and no
area,
one can
and
save
I'm just
me.
a baby, so I will only get to add 2. Okay, don't worry, we made it to 7 with that +2.
Man, we've been cutting it close. We've been
So
This
many
is no act.
successes.
This is not your Act 1 climax. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nail biter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would think like the the baseline it kind of works is I'm mostly fighting off these people and keeping them
Right. But
somewhat
here's
at bay.
but
yeah, what's the
most
but?
of the
What's the but?
most of the house stays intact.
Oh no.
It's only about half a house now though.
Oh no.
Like half this way or this way?
I think it's like bottom.
Well, do you
half.
assume there's not way more ways?
Well, maybe okay. So instead of like it being like chopped just right in half, it's like diagonal. Like
Okay. Yeah.
well, there's the equivalent of like half the house is now just sheared off and gone.
Excellent.
The wizard's room is gone.
I protected the house, but also I haven't protected the house.
Yeah.
Correct.
Excellent.
Back to the
I
wizard.
think,
I
the
think.
wizards aren't too powerful.
Okay. Round 2. Surrender your humanity for the power to protect your family. Great. So the house got busted, which is great because now I assume y'all are dying. So that's great. So the Wiz had been like channeling all of this this energy and this power, and turns back and sees and hears like part of their house, and probably also feels part of their house just being destroyed. They're already mostly wispy self turns with like steely cold eyes towards the ships that are nearby, and all of this energy collects underneath them and shoots them straight up, and they just kind of burst. And the mural that was in their room was only kind of like a galaxy, because instead it is more a depiction of how the wizard looks now, which is just this spread and spray of darkness and color, and almost looks like a giant moving galaxy, except just not friendly. Just not, I mean, space is scary, but like it's roiling, it's got this strange crackling energy in it, and it's huge, and it just moves so quickly into the space where these ships are, and I think like as they're lifting up, they see Enoch, who is mostly corporeal now, kind of opposite of what the wizard is, and thinks of that meal that they made together and the small moments that when he learned about his family, and they think about Orlest and the silly game that they made that the wizard was terrible at, and Mez yelling at them, but for good reason, because my God, look at where they are now, and how they will do anything to keep them all safe, and basically turns into a little bit of a black hole, but doesn't like automatically suck stuff into them, you know.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Roll to black hole.
Roll
yeah, I was
to
gonna
black
say,
hole.
could
Does
you
this
bring
count
us
as
off a
doing?
pizza?
Does this count as doing something stupid to protect someone?
Yeah.
Sounds like
Excellent.
It
to
sounds
me.
stupid.
Hell yes, let's black hole it up.
Turning yourself into a black hole to save your found family sounds like stupid to save everyone else.
That's a bit much, but we're gonna do it. 9. Wait, 9.
Oh.
It's 9.
Oh, it's 9 or 7s. We haven't rolled an 8. 9 and 7.
Right.
Minor complication.
So you black hole. Mostly,
So I
at
black
least.
hole.
So you black hole.
So I
that
do a black
works primarily.
Does anyone have anything?
Turning into a black hole just feels like there's so many possible complications. It's hard to.
It's
know
only
where
a
to
minor
start.
complication, though. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
It's a minor one.
I would like what I would like is
Go for it. Yeah.
the wizard is like sucking up the sheer pieces of the home and starting to suck up like other now the exposed parts of the home
Mhm.
that are still intact into black hole.
Mhm.
Flex up the catamander.
No.
No, no, that was
No,
my
no.
one. That was my one thing. The catamander
It was
cannot
so
cannot be.
close.
It was
I
close.
didn't say they were gonna die.
They
There's
like
a scene
start
of
to
Stuffy
like,
like holding onto a chair is like being sucked back.
yeah.
Or less in the middle of shooting off fireballs, like reaches out of like magic hand, and just like no.
Just hold on.
No.
It's very close, but Stumpy's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just start eating up the house.
Yeah.
You are now one with the house.
I think the house is
Even more
inside
so.
of me now instead of me inside the house.
I've become house.
I have.
I
become
am house.
Hey, if you think about it, wasn't the real house, the real traveling home inside us all along?
The home was the friend we made along the way, but also the one inside my stomach.
I am house destroyer worlds.
Mhm. All right, other prompts time. It sounds like.
Yeah. Anyone got one? It's fresh round.
Mhm.
Oh man. Oh, Enoch. Oh no, you already did something. Shit.
This is what's a fresh round. Any of us could go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any of the three of us after the wizard's prompt to
Yep.
start off round 2. There's so many options.
Yeah, prompt can be selected more than once, but not by the same player. So,
But I
like,
couldn't foolishly leap into danger again.
so you couldn't do the same thing that you did before.
Okay, so the wizard currently, the thing you're doing is you're fighting off the airships in general, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
I'm
ones-
like way
yeah.
up now and like in the airship space.
Mm-hmm. And
think-
Enoch, you're somewhere. Oh, sorry.
Nope, go for it. Nope.
I was just like trying to establish what was going on.
I'm bleeding
You're
and
doing
fighting
airship stuff.
creatures.
Yeah, you're on the ground like fighting off creatures, so the wizard like has space to fly up into the air and go Super Saiyan, however many. Mez, you are question mark after the fallout of the first attempted thing in round 1, and then Orlest is back on like the deck question mark of the ship, whatever remains, shooting weapon magic. Did you have something, Alex? You don't have to. It just sounded like you were gonna jump in. So.
Yeah, I read it was inspire someone to be their best self.
Ooh.
I was thinking of Mez trying to kind of get, for lack of a pun intended, her wind back, kind of thing.
Aw.
Catch her wind. Is just kind of like can see Orlest and just wants to essentially use that moment to encourage them and let them know that she believes in them and that they know that they're strong. Like and just be like push you to give that extra oomph, and if she can give you a little bit of a boost, she will. And just inspire you to do those spells that you're avoiding that maybe you feel like are
Void magic.
too powerful for you or whatever, but she believes in you.
I didn't have any of those ideas for a round 2 thing. Don't worry.
Oh God, I have to roll, right?
You can go up.
I don't add anything, right? I already added stuff.
You can add the same things.
I think you still get to
Yeah.
add the same.
You can
stuff
add one
from
for your
last
roll
time.
for each of your Act 2 marks that you hit to a bonus hit 3.
Okay.
If only you had an extra
Okay,
mark
all right.
of inspire someone to be their best self.
Okay,
Because
that's
I
a 4 on the floor. That's a 4 on the table. So that's an 8. Plus
And
2.
you had what? Plus 2. That's a full-on real success.
Hey.
You
Hey.
successfully
Success.
bolstered this wee babe.
Yeah.
You could do it or less.
Super wind powers and the power of friendship and believing in each other.
And in that moment, I feel like Mez is pretty much all human.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, is this like a mostly like how's this look? Are you shooting your positive vibes? Is this like mostly an emotional connection? What's
I feel
going
like
on here?
they're getting up to their feet and they're kind of stumbling up towards you to be back to back to fight alongside with you,
Yeah.
and just kind of once they kind of butt up to you, they kind of use your shoulder a little bit to kind of stabilize themselves because they're still trying to. But instead of using what strength they had left to kind of just push into themselves, they decide to share it instead. And they just go, "You're stronger than you could ever imagine," and kind of just pats your back and just feeds the last of what she's got into you.
Baby. The baby's
And kind of
gonna be
hits
so
it,
strong.
hits a knee and just essentially
Like
sets up
slices?
her body to like shield anything that comes to Orlest while Orlest tries to who has the power to actually defend the home. To make sure that nobody hurts you.
I love that. That's good. Good content.
Yeah.
Yo, this is a good story. What?
I'm here for the fluffy.
This is great.
I'm just eating olives. Don't mind me.
Yeah. Timeless, you got something you want to jump in right now?
I don't have one now.
Cool. I think it's time to meddle with forces beyond my understanding.
Oh, fuck yes. Let's
Yeah,
go.
gotta do
Like,
that.
it's gotta be.
Let's go.
Any number of potions of magical art. Like, there's a little extended section in the full game. There are any number of potions of magical artifacts in the home, to say nothing of the powerful demon. Which, wow, the wizard has explained enough about them to keep you safe around them, and that's not the same as understanding how to use them. What do you try to do to aid the wizard when they're clearly struggling?
Well, you got demon energy in you now, bud.
Yeah, there's so many power to go. Or less is bolstered by the power of friendship and also demon energy, and also, hey, it's time to pull out all the stops, even if we have to have a nice talky poo about void magic after this.
Have you seen the black hole in the sky that used to be the wizard? I don't think they'll mind right now.
I think, have we established where Ferris is in this whole situation?
No, we haven't.
Not really. I was trying to figure out, like, in my head how that works.
Should we?
I don't know if we
Yeah,
have
that's
to.
what we don't
can.
necessarily
I
have
don't know if Theris is like here. I think this is
Yeah.
mostly like hench person stuff.
Yes. That could maybe be a thing to deal with at the end, but
Yeah.
I think, okay, so I think here's where we're at. We're on like the front porch or whatever, like somewhere on the slightly outside of the home.
There's a lot of outside of the home right now because
true.
there's
Yeah, the home is like
it's half outside now.
at best 50%. Mostly have fought off the one airship, but like clearly the wizard could use some support on the other airships. The plan is I'm gonna create some sort of high energy void magic, like a beam that's going to shoot off enough energy that I'm going to propel the house with it instead of the normal the jumpy legs. Kind of just drift it around and just go on a ramming course, I would call it, at the other airships that the wizard is fighting off.
Amazing.
Is how I'm imagining it. It's just like, we kind of just do like a and then charge right into them. So yeah,
I'm sure
get
this
my.
will only be successful and forever.
This will be
successful.
perfect.
This is
Don't
gonna go
even
perfect.
jinx my dice about it. So I get my standard +2 because I can't make anything else work. That's a good roll. I rolled a 9 plus my 2. That's
Hey,
a success.
pulling it out at the end.
You did done the Tokyo Drift though.
Yeah. It's weird because it's a weird Ghibli arrangement of it, but we do hear the
Oh, I was
but-
thinking of the Tokyo Drift song.
yeah, well, that's the like very like opening little just ding 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 ding. But yeah, like suddenly jet engine noise of a weird. I'm imagining it's like, looking at. I'm thinking of this video in my head of someone who had painted the inside of a little like self-built room that like black 3.0 or whatever paint, where it's like it's just like solid black where it's has no shape or definition to it, with like little glints of like some purples and like little purplish white energies coming off of it, but just like literally just straight column out of or less, and then just kind of like is doing a whoa and pivots the whole house around it and is like goes just barreling into the other airships.
Amazing.
R.I.P. house.
We're down to like a third of a house now.
Yeah, the house is questionable at best at this point for sure.
If there's no more house.
It's
Again, the
it's
real
got-
traveling home.
No. If there's no more house, is Mez still bound to it?
yes.
Find out.
Well,
That
there's
was my
still
second
that's why there's still like a third of the
option,
house.
It's just them standing on a door.
Right?
Yeah, you're getting Titanic on that door.
I'll never let go.
Enoch, what are you doing,
I
buddy?
think Enoch's going to. I think Enoch's going to repel an attack by the enemy henchmen. The enemy could be using their power to fight the. invading army, but instead they're taking advantage of the wizard's absence to come after the family. How do the enemy's henchmen try to attack the home, and how do you organize the others to prevent them from getting in? I think we've established what the regular henchmen look like and like what these creatures look like that Enoch's been fighting. So I think seeing the or less do this big old magic, like coming visibly out of the house, what is left of the house. I think like Enoch, seeing he's now being overwhelmed too, like starts to run towards the house and like calls for or less to get all of this off his back with his newfound magic.
Mm-hmm. With or less extremely well controlled newfound magic, yeah.
That I have to roll for.
Yeah.
+2. 9 + 2. Not
Hey!
bad. A 10.
Bless, you didn't destroy my one true love with your bad void magic.
Yeah, I think you. Enoch just like whistles and yells or less name is like running towards the remains of the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bounce off the airships maybe to pitch a little bit. Just like, bounce off the airships. There's like a weird moment of stillness of the house, and then here's like Enoch. It's like, yeah, hold on, and just like puts another hand up, and, like, starts, but like way gentler. Well, not at first. At first, it's way too powerful, and then like it slowly lets up and like is slowly towards the
Mez
ground.
is just talking you through it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll ease up. Sorry. Oh, that was a little much.
It's intense. It's okay.
And then we do a little like point two hands at the ground to lower ourselves down to Enoch.
Okay.
Is it time to resolve things?
It's time to resolve threads, team.
Threads.
Yikes.
As a group, you'll resolve the plot threads that have been themes in the story you've told so far. Your ability to make choices about the shape of your ending will be determined by the number of marks you have hit during play. The more marks you hit, the more agency you'll have in determining your ultimate fate, and the happier your ending will be. If you hit few marks, your choices will be much more constrained, and your ending will be bittersweet. Total the number of marks you've achieved including the ones hit in the finale. So how much did everyone hit? I did not hit
all of them.
You got a full 8? Okay.
I got a full 8.
So 8 plus...
Oh, total between both.
Between both.
Packs?
I got 7.
I got 6.
I have... Oh, I hit one because grow weak after doing something traumatic to protect the family.
It's valid,
Nice.
yes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3... I have 7.
Okay.
Cool. So 14 plus I had 6.
Something is
28.
28.
Okay, so we didn't get the highest, we have 8 points. So we have 8 points to spend. And the way that works is as follows. Take the number of points according to the follow tables and see the chart to spend these points in the endings. Players will choose a plot thread to resolve by selecting a thread and framing a brief moment in which that thread is resolved, as in an ending montage of a movie. Create your own scene, or there are prompts with questions you can answer, whichever is more comfortable. Once you've framed your moment, play passes to the next player. Order of choice will be determined by the number of marks the player hit, with the player who hit the most going first. Okay. So we go in order of, it'll be Maria, then both, either me or Alex, then the other one, and then Zach to end it.
Cool.
Okay, so
everyone...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, keep going.
Okay. Everyone will be able to spend any number of points they like from the communal pool and make the decision about any thread they like, even if it isn't theirs. If a thread has 2 choices, the person choosing it decides whether to spend 1 for a partial or 2 for a complete resolution. They can be chosen in any order. You may wish to save the resolving the declaration of love until you've decided the outcome of the pact, the wizard, and the cursed. Take turns spending points this way until you're out of points for the choices to make. When you determine which threads will remain unresolved, use the bittersweet prompts to describe as a group how that aspect of the story is either not resolved or resolved unhappily. When you are finished, the game is over. Maria, what you gonna resolve?
Me. So do I just pick one, or?
You have to pick one, but you can choose whether you want to spend 1 or 2 points if it asks you, because we're going in order. So that you'll go first, and then it'll be me or Alex.
Oh, damn. See, I need to remember what our I gotta remember what our pact was. Save each other and find contentment. I remembered. I think our pact is broken.
I think we saved each other and found contentment.
I think so.
Sure sounds like a complete resolution.
Yeah.
It 100% does. Cause yeah, I mean, I don't know how without like, that's less of like a tangible thing. I think more, well, Wizard's busy right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it would be something that Mez just feels. All of a sudden, you're in like this super solid human form, but all of a sudden, this like anchor that had been holding you to this basically not a house anymore, is no longer there. You could at any point stay this form that you're at, or go back to however you were, and you can do so whenever you choose. And you feel like you could go anywhere.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do what I want to do.
Pitch it.
Go for it. Yeah, like
Because
throw it
there's
out
one
there.
that says the wizard regains their human form, or the wizard never transforms back.
Yes.
So
I mean,
you can
you're
pitch any of them,
next.
even if it's not quote unquote
Yeah.
theirs.
And you're next in the order anyhow.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
if the pact is broken,
Uh-huh.
one of the things that they would like to do is help the wizard regain their human form by taking back kind of the power that led into it, but in a way that it holds onto it and then lets it go and chooses to remain human.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, so just kind of goes up to you and like can feel their power and kind of like rises to you and just goes, I think it's time for us both to rest. Let it go. You don't need it anyways. And just kind of extend their hands to yours to kind of take it and draw enough to kind of allow you to gain more control over your void. And then instead of holding on to it, you can see their body starting to go kind of like misty, like their old form. And then they kind of just lift up their arm and they just let it go as you both kind of.
Yeah, I think as they descend, like it's just this giant like roiling mass of energy. Somewhere in there is the wizard, and you just kind of like reach up into it, and as you descend down, as this giant thing descends down with you like kind of underneath it, it gets smaller and smaller, and soon you see like a hand like come out holding yours, and as you like get farther and farther down, like the wizard becomes more and more like their corporeal self. I think their hair is still a strange color, but it's not like as strangely like celestial as it was before.
You're a person.
Yeah, just with like funny
just a
colored hair
fun
this
color,
time.
yeah.
It's more like
Yeah.
a fun color, not like a eldritch horror color.
We went to the salon and got unicorn hair.
Yeah.
And you see Mez in a fully human state. Hi.
Hi.
I'm outside of the house.
It just kind of looks over and there's like a beam that just kind of like That's not much of a house left.
We can fix it.
We can fix it.
I think I'm gonna stay if that's okay.
Of course, it's your home.
It is my home. At least I've chosen it. I'll kind of give you a nudge.
I'll give you a hug.
Ooh, first corporeal hug. I'm into it.
Real hug.
Oh,
Weird.
you just kind of feel her tense a little bit and then go, oh. He's like, this is nice.
You kind of like sink into it, and it was just like, okay, hold on.
Hold on. Oh,
I had.
You do got to hold your weight up a little bit. In the house.
Yeah.
Also, I was just a black void up until about 5 seconds ago, so like I'm a little tired.
In their mind, I can't wait to hug everybody. I'm gonna hug Orlest. I'm gonna pet that stupid catamander. That's me. I hope that's okay. I spent spent coins on that. Is that
Just one. You spent
Yeah,
a
use
point.
just one.
Oh, okay.
I am going to choose. There are most casualties are prevented, as this war happened at my house. Both my houses. So really, just the worst place.
Only your youngest sister died.
Yeah.
No.
However long the fighting lasts, your actions prevent all but a small number of casualties. What do you do? I think we ended it pretty decisively. I think that. I mean, with the overwhelming magic power of Orlest and the wizard together, I think the majority of the casualties were just like the henchmen and monsters, and most civilians were spared by just our lucky but decisive use of magic.
Mm-hmm. Right, so what do we got left? We've got the one about the cursed spell. We've got the... It's kind of weird because there's the one about how quickly the war ends versus casualty preventing.
Yeah, those are two different things, though, apparently.
That are two.
There's also the thing with the home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's also might be an important one.
So where are we at on points that
We
we
have
have
5
spent?
points remaining.
Yeah.
We spent 3.
Yeah.
We
That's
each
what I was
spent
thinking,
one.
yeah. Because you only spend 2 if there are multiple options on
Yes,
the
if there are
results, right?
options, correct.
Okay.
We have
kinda-
plenty.
Yeah, I just want to
Make it
say,
rain.
as much as the home is improved for 2 points is fun, I like the idea that the home is only like restored. Like it's mostly there still, like not mostly there still, but we got like a lot of the groundwork. And then I'm trying to think of what it looks like when the wizard, gets out of Eldritch being mode after having sucked up a bunch of the house. Like we maybe have some parts and scraps left. But the house looks a little more...
Oh, you assume we need parts and scraps to make this house again.
Well, I think like right away at least we have reassembled a bunch of pieces of the house. And,
That should like put them in like piles and be like, all right, now this pile is gonna be like this part of the house again.
Yeah, I like that idea of like Orlest and the wizard are kind of taking the lead on that, and the other two are like, wait, no, hold on, you got to move that room up, and we're just like, kind of levitating pieces into place.
I think we make it our house. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, it's like the same like size ish, but it's
In general shape,
Yeah, it's completely like rearranged.
it's just as patchwork as us.
Yeah.
yeah, it's patchwork in a different way now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to put my room up high because I want the east sun coming in.
Yeah.
So the home is restored, definitely not improved because it was perfect already.
Oh,
But we could have had a lighthouse.
We could. That's next game.
I was about to say, damn it, I want a lighthouse.
Back to Maria.
We got 4?
We have 4 points remaining.
We're gonna go with the enemy's grudge is negated.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever make peace with this Theris,
Mhm.
but I think I send them a very long letter of like, hey,
Mhm.
you did start a war, and that's not cool. And also, I don't think we're children anymore, so we don't have to fight as children. here's the list of the grievances that you have against me. Here are the ones that I apologize for. Here's some financial compensation to help with others. And I hope that we can meet again on better terms. Stop. The end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're just tired of chasing me around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you both are like, no one really fully sets aside the beef. Both of you are like, we can't keep doing this.
Yeah, there's like politics involved now, and this is just exhausting.
We did start a war, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea that that's so like a perfect encapsulation of that character is the wizard's like, here's a list of my understanding of your grievances against me. Here's the one I apologize for. Like, here's the list that I'm gonna cop to. The
Here's a
rest
list
is your
of my-
problem.
Of all our disagreements.
Yes.
Alex.
Well, I feel that leaves really one big one. And that's you, Enoch.
Yeah, there's 2 options left. That's one of them.
So,
I have something.
but I don't.
I
yeah,
have,
but I don't.
I have something. If you pick that one, I have something that I can gift.
Sure.
A thread. Unless
Perfect.
I had something in mind.
No, I didn't. I was going to ask Ty's autonomy in this as to what he
Whatever.
would like.
I don't have a preference, honestly. I'm game for whatever.
Okay.
Cool. Then I would like to spend 2 coins to make you super, super, super,
Mhm.
super hot.
Yes.
So, but I will leave
Is that what the
that.
spell was doing?
I thought it was making me look. I thought it was breaking a spell, not making a spell to make me hot.
Well, that was what the spell was. We found out at the end.
So-
Isn't that
so-
isn't
so-
that what it is? It just it's like Beauty and the Beast. Yes,
I can only
Rhea.
raise my hand so high. So, let's cut back to Act 1 climax, when I decided to take 3 books from Theris's place.
Mhm.
Almost all of them were of this particular location, area of the world where Enoch had gotten cursed, as well as transformative magics and most common curses. The wizard had been doing a lot of studying about what your curse could have been over the past weeks. And during this montagey time, asks, I think I found a way, I might have found a way to reverse your curse situation if you want it.
Oh, yes, by all means.
They'll take your hands and we'll take you up to the topmost part of the house where they have set up this space. There's a big circle drawn on the ground with all sorts of intricate things. There's stuff laid around, different components. A couple of books you recognize laying off to the side. And they lead you into the center. And they just kind of give your hands a squeeze and take like 2 steps out. And as soon as they step out, like the whole thing just like is it looks like, you know, like the tractor, not the tractor beam, the like the
Phone charging stations.
the transporter beam from like Star Trek. It just kind of goes a little bit sparkly and shiny, and your like strange, not quite here body just kind of like flickers for a little bit before kind of like Beauty and the Beast, from like your toes all the way up, you start to just kind of like corporealize into you again.
A real boy.
A real boy. What do you look like?
Enoch has he does have a minor cosmetic change. Even if it's broken, it's completely reversed, save for one minor cosmetic reminder. Different hair, different eyes, a strange voice. I think his hair is now that same color as like he was in his shade form, with like streaks of blue like that were similar to his eyes.
We have matching hair.
Yeah, pretty much. And otherwise, he's got like shoulder length hair tied back in a pony, like half up, half down in a ponytail, and like loose to here. Is fairly tall and slender, but has like very like well worked hands. Yeah,
He's got good hands.
He's got good strong hands.
Smoking hot. Just
I was gonna say, would you offer,
smoking.
much like Alex said, that now that the curse is broken, extremely hot.
Extremely hot.
Extremely attractive.
He's just
That was
like,
what
you
the
know,
curse
I
was
never
doing.
thought I was that good looking, and then it's just other people looking at them going, you are literally like,
but have you considered?
have you considered the fact that you are perfection?
And I think the wizard's just kind of like standing there with like a smile on their face, just kind of like there was this tiny part of them that they would never admit didn't think it would work. But the smile on their face would make one believe like they knew it was going to work the entire time.
And then it probably makes sense to go into, I mean, if we're already in this scene, we'll do the I think Enoch like looks at himself again and then like rushes over to you and hugs the wizard with consent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And whispers, "I love you too." In his ear.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the wizard is just kind of like is the happiest I think they've ever been in their entire life, ever, in this small moment of like seeing you in like your actual factual human self, hearing that you too feel the same way, and will just kind of like look at you and smile, and then just like a little bit kind of frown and say, "I never made myself a new bedroom."
Back to laugh.
I never told you my name.
No. I like the wizard just fine though.
Yeah, you do.
Do you want to know it?
I do.
It can be our
Yes.
secret.
All right.
They tell you that their name is Daria, and that they had, they just kind of start talking. They talk a lot, in this moment. They just kind of like waterfall a little bit, because they hadn't really told anyone that a little bit about how they grew up and how it was very strict and regimented, and magic wasn't something that you could learn it academically, but you're not allowed to like learn it until they went off to school, and just kind of telling you everything that they had kind of told people in bits and pieces, but like hadn't ever told anyone anything about who they were, where they came from, all of that. But it just kind of spills out naturally and excitedly all at once.
Listen and enjoy.
Yeah.
One more point, Zach. It's all yours.
It's all yours.
I think it was technically yours, but yeah.
Well, I took the 0.1. That technically does
true.
count.
Yeah, that one had
As a
to
choice.
happen. It wasn't optional. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
free. If we didn't take it, they're absolutely evil monsters.
Just
Yes,
not
guys.
to resolve that.
So
It's
we
like,
can either put
we
the
don't
extra
know-
point into the home, or we can end the war.
Well, that war ends eventually, but like, it's either gonna end now or it's gonna we just
Be a
get a fancy
year
home.
of war.
Yeah.
Years
Yeah,
of
I
war are
think-
bad though.
Yeah, that's bad. I do think, we'll say the war ends quickly and decisively. Especially because we did such a big and devastating magic battle. Like, it destroyed a bunch of like warships and stuff, but it didn't like, take out swaths of a city or anything. The other thing I'm thinking, that it mentions in the like slightly larger breakdown of it is the war ended through political means, and like part of it I feel like is Theris is like, we've gotta go get this wizard, gonna terrorize the whole everything, and is like doing all these machinations to bring everyone around to their side to, you know, leverage all of this might in their position. And then this happens, and it's just like they kind of catch on to Theris's grift of like, oh, this was just a personal beef, huh? And like no one wants this to turn into a real war, and they all just kind of are like, all right, no one largely got hurt besides the combatants of the war, and no like civilians were injured or anything. We're just gonna call this one all good. We're fine here.
I like that.
I love it.
That's the last plot thread to resolve. Now, when the game is done, depending on how you play it, our traveling home has the potential to be deeply emotionally affecting. When you're done playing the game, you should check in to see how everyone's feeling. How is everyone feeling?
I love this game.
It's very good.
So good.
So good. I want to watch House of Castle again. We're
Yeah.
gonna do it. We gotta
We
do
should.
it. We need
Yeah,
to
plan it.
schedule a time. Alex needs
Yeah.
to see it.
I do. I will say that Mez can't stop hugging Orlest.
Mez is very into hugs now. It's just like
It's
just constantly running around.
Oh,
May I hug you?
100%. Dara comes and like scoops Orlest up as soon as they get back into the house and say, "I saw everything you did and it was fantastic. You were amazing."
And Orlest is mid like apology. Like, hey, I'm sorry. I know. Oh, you saw
Scoop.
everything. Oh no, you weren't supposed to see that big part with the no magic, and until like realize it, like actually listens to what you're saying. It's like, okay, well, just glad to see you too.
So Mez will make sure that the little bit of the demon power that they gave Orlest stays with Orlest. Got the last
Here.
piece.
It's a little bit.
Just a little bit of demon power as a treat.
And gives Enoch a hug.
and Enoch will hug back.
Oh, so many hugs! It's just holding Stumpy.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. You actually finally become friends with Stumpy, like for real.
Yeah. Because I can appreciate why someone would like something like this. Soft and
It's soft and
Doesn't-
kind of has scales, and it's kind
Yeah.
I
of.
was gonna
got
say it's soft.
weird.
I'm trying to remember all of the
there
the
it's
physical
it's got no, it's
There was fur. I think there was some
there's
sort of
fur.
fur.
There was some fur
mentioned.
and things, right?
There was
Yeah,
fur
okay.
mentioned, I believe.
I think there's a
Scaly
furry
fur
tail.
baby, bioluminescent,
Scaly fur.
Yeah.
maybe
bobble
that's-
on the tail with a squashed face.
The
Yeah.
the ears are absolutely soft.
Yes.
Mhm. Oh, for sure.
Always. But and they learn how to cook.
Yay.
Mhm.
Oh my god, Enoch's cooking is only gonna get better because he's got hands now.
Now I've got
We got
hands. It won't take me
hands!
forever to concentrate and do
Ah.
These hands.
everything.
You go catch these
Strong
hands. And yeah. I think Mez just gets lost everywhere. Like just
Oh, like in the world?
yeah. Well, I mean like they don't like leave, but like they'll go out to like collect stuff. And it's just like seeing things from ground level is like takes them a while to bring back things that are actually edible. Is this? That would 100% be a tree.
That's not it.
That's bark. Yay.
Any other epilogues or scenes people want?
I love you all.
The wizard absolutely makes Enoch a bigger garden.
And I would say there's probably like a scene of Enoch and the wizard going to Enoch's home, and then bringing
Oh,
his sisters
yeah.
to come see the house.
Yeah, I can finally meet your family for real
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah. I think.
Oh,
that-
yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe
bring
of
your sister
Orlest
in,
and Eleanor playing.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I parked the house right behind your family house, like right
Yeah.
next to their barn.
All I can think of is
See
like
it.
up when they tethered the house or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
But it's Orlest, Eleanor, and Mez.
Mhm.
Just sheer
Havoc.
chaos.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wreaking
See.
havoc. Oh, I love it. Mez is just a kid at this point, really.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to be a human. So
Mhm.
starting out at the beginning. It's like Data. Play. I love it.
It's good.
Any other scenes anyone wants as an epilogue?
I don't think so.
Okay. So there's a when the game is done section. Like I said in the book, we don't go through all of it, but the thing the book recommends is de-roll, taking a break, which we'll do afterward, and then debriefing, talking about the experience and fun and processing anything we did. So that's usually how we end these anyhow. So
Yeah.
everyone go out and say your name, where we can find you and your favorite moments of either tonight or, this whole experience and game overall. Start with Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. You could find me on the interwebs at Crit Charisma. Mostly on Insta these days, but sometimes I'll post every once in a while. Favorite things, right? I love how I went into this not understanding how wholesome it was going to be, and then just really loving how wholesome it was. Kind of like a cozy den all over again, where it's like, I don't know, this could be super debauchery, and you get into it, and it's like, oh no, we're a family.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really cool to see all the character growths, and I loved it. That's my favorite. As always, my favorite is playing with you all. Yeah. Let's pass it over to Zach. We'll go in the same order.
Hello, I'm Zach. You can find me on the internet places, pretty much everywhere at Zachary20XX. I do stuff on the internet, like posting and streaming, and that's it. Those are the two things I do on the internet. Favorite moment from tonight? I've been trying to think of this all session because I'm like, I've got to pick one, but there's a lot. I like just the nice little team up magic at the end in the climax scene. That's just like always good. Just do a nice little bi-arc power combine thing. It's just cute. I think that's it. Those are all the things. I did all of them. Maria, you get to go now because Ty closes out the end.
Maria, you can find me on the internet at Happy Capture. I stream a lot. If you want to know what I'm doing this week, it's a lot of things. One thing every night this week, pretty much.
Many things this week.
This week is very busy. But follow me on the Twitter, and you'll see all the things that I'm doing. It's a lot. Basically, if I'm doing, if there's a weekday, I'm doing something. Dang. Ooh.
Yeah, you have to pick one.
Jeez. My favorite moment, I think, was when I got Orless to read me a book. That whole scene was so it started off like so silly and wholesome, and then it got like so sad. It was so good. Made me so sad. But also having a pet by the end. Like I wanted it so bad, and we got it.
I like
That like first episode, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
first episode we got Stumpy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. It's so good. This is so good. Ty.
I'm Ty. You can find me at Baller and Brawler on Twitter. You can find me here at the Mythos Mystery Society, where Dave is running another chapter in the Lang Fu Saga, our Call of Cthulhu campaign. You can catch up with there are a lot of episodes on the podcast that have been in the saga, so catch up on YouTube or on anywhere you can find podcasts. and he will be running that, I think, in the next 2 weeks. And we have all of our stuff on YouTube and podcast that we've done so up until now, including this on YouTube. My favorite moment from this night and the overall experience. My favorite moment from this night, I really liked the scene with us cooking, Enoch and Wizard cooking, because I think it's been kind of up until now, like something that's been shown up in like almost every episode or every other episode of this. And I liked having just a scene with the two of us like that. I think my favorite moment from one of my favorite moments from the game overall is the dream, because that was just such a like unexpected and weird but like horrible moment contrasted against like the rest of this.
Yeah. I
That was just very cool.
I did really like the dream. The wizard was I always went about. So when I made the wizard, I knew nothing about them. Let's be real. I knew nothing about them until the conversation that the wizard and Enoch had together, where like the wizard was kind of trying to pry a little bit into like, so tell me about your past. Tell me about your family. And then I was like, but what if the wizard also had didn't have a, what if the wizard learned that Enoch had a great family and they didn't, and they're like, and then it just got sadder from there. This is a good family, though. This is good family.
Yeah,
It's good
thanks for
family.
playing, everyone. Everyone was like great.
This
Liked
is
all
really
everyone's
nice.
characters, liked everyone who's played. It was just great. It was a good time.
Yay!
This is nice.
This
Very
was
wholesome.
nice. It was so soft.
Very good game. Thank you to Ash creator of this game.
Yeah. Good game. Go buy it, everyone. Buy
Yes.
it.
Highly
Sure.
recommend.
Yeah, it's great. I would consider doing this again in a different role for sure.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Who would everyone do next before we finish? Let's who would everyone do next if you had to
I want
do
to
it
be the
again?
curse really bad.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
I want to be the wizard.
Yes.
I
Or
kinda
the
wanna
monster.
see what that would. Yeah.
I want to know what the monster would be like.
I would love to play with the monster next time. I would either do the monster or the
Yeah.
demon, I think, if I had to pick.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm like on the fence between the wizard. Like, I think it'd be fun to like, be the kind of weird focal, but also not focal point of the whole thing. But the demon, as all the spots that the demon is not the demon. Are
Yes.
The kind of
The
fun
enemy
ones
and
where it's
stuff.
just
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
oh, you're the enemy now. I'm like,
Those are. I will have to say, those are pretty fun.
pretty
You get
good.
to do
Yeah.
some pretty gnarly things to people.
Mhm.
I enjoyed every second of that.
Yeah.
Listen, you were the fodder that fed into the nightmare that the wizard had. 'Cause you threw Enoch into a picture frame, and then Enoch was in a
Yeah.
picture frame
Yeah.
in my nightmare. It
That
was a bad
happened,
time.
I'm glad I could be of horrific service.
It's good. It's a good time. Thanks you all for joining us.
Thank
Is there
you.
anyone we can raid?
Not really.
Okay.
There's not really. So we're just gonna peter
Let's
out.
say bye.
This is great. This was great. Thank
you
you
for joining us,
everyone.
Sal.
Thank you
Have
so
to go to bed.
much.
Mhm.
Have a great
Yeah.
night. Have a great
too.
time.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Mwah.